Hello, hello, hello. What's up this morning, everyone? Welcome. Fine Tuesday to you all. Good to see ya. What is up? Random Conman AU, Funky Mo, Autism. How is everyone doing today? The Red Salvi. Hopefully everyone is having a great week and it is spoiler time. Hey, what's up, Lucid? Hope all is well. Tuka Buddy, welcome. The Boo Box, welcome you both to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscriptions. Big scoop cheer for you. Thank you. So what are y'all thinking about these Spider-Man cards? I gotta say, and I'm hoping one of the things I need your help with today, everyone, is I gotta say the more cards they spoil for Spider-Man, the less I feel like I understand the lore of Spider-Man. Like, today they spoiled Spider-Man UK, and I guess I don't understand. So, how does Spider-Man work? I'm trusting that at least some of you are Spider-Man fans. Are there, like, a whole bunch of different does each country have their own Spider-Man? Are there, like, many Spider-Men running around, or is there one Spider-Man? I'm so confused. And what does actually, because I thought Spider-Man was like, Spider-Man was Peter Parker, but the more cards we get, it's like Miles Morales becomes Spider-Man. There's a UK Spider-Man. There's all these different versions of Spider-Man. And I really don't know. I really don't understand what is what is going on with the lore of this set. There are a lot of universes. Oh, so it's like Rick and Morty, right? It's like a multiverse set. Okay, that makes sense. So there's a whole bunch of universes. Each universe has their own Spider-Man, and each of those have their own like Spider origin story. So there's like, oh, I see. So there's like a universe where everything's the UK. I see, like the England universe. There's like the England universe, and there they have their own England Spider-Man who has their own. I see. It's basically just Rick and Morty. I got it. Is it just me, or is the bitrate very low and the stream looking smeary? Ooh, that is a good question. Let me see. You can check your settings. It looks right on my end, but if other people are having trouble, let me know and I can try to look into it. So what are y'all thinking? What are y'all thinking of the Spider-Man set so far? There's so many Spider-Men. There's so many Spider-Men. And they made, I'm sure you saw this. They made the meme card. I think the way we need to think about Magic is that every set is essentially like 20% an unset, which I don't actually think is necessarily a bad thing. I think it actually is probably fine that, like, in the past, maybe Magic sets were maybe too serious, but now if you just accept that like 20% of each set is like a little unset flavor, the whole thing makes a lot more sense. We also got to see our first look at the arena cards. This is the Soul Stone, the arena version. I was very curious to see what they were going to do with this, because you probably know the story of this, where Wizards wouldn't, whatever, get the digital rights to make Spider-Man cards. So they can't do Spider-Man on Arena or on Moto. So their solution is to make their in-universe version of the set. So we have the Terminus of Return, which is the Soul Stone, except it's not a Soul Stone, it's a Terminus. It's a Terminus Stone, and you don't harness infinity, you origin, but otherwise, it's exactly the same card. And that's, you know what that means to me, which I think is very interesting, is apparently Marvel owns the rights to the word infinity, at least in the context of Stone being after it. Like, I was surprised they had to change that, because I thought infinity, Miro said that they were two separate words. It's not Infinity Stone is the type, it's Infinity is a type and Stone is the type. So I thought it was surprising that they apparently had to change Infinity, because I thought that was a pretty generic term. But the interesting part of these cards, the kidney, they could have went full unset with it. Yeah, the kidney stone. I feel like these cards are relevant. They don't have any plans for making these in paper right now, but I am like 99% sure that when we eventually need reprints of Universes Beyond cards, and Soulstone 5 years from now costs, $500 and they can't reprint it because they don't own the rights, I imagine that what they reprint is this version, right? Like, once you need to reprint it, why wouldn't you use the version that already exists, you already have the art for? So I imagine that, like, in the future, we'll get, like, in-universe masters to reprint cards from Universes Beyond that otherwise are kind of on the pseudo-reserve list, and we might actually end up getting this in paper. In paper eventually. Could you imagine being the designer for the set and getting the news that you have to make an entirely new set? Yeah, that is kind of rough, isn't it, to have to redo the whole set? Wait, do we need to restart? Oh no, is Arena not working? Hang on. Avert your eyes, chat. Avert your eyes. Also, chat, we have our exclusive MTG Goldfish preview card going live at 1 o'clock today. So in an hour and a half, we together can be the first people in the world to look at this card. So it's happening. It's happening soon. The reason why I haven't heard the reasons I've heard why they don't have the rights is due to Sony and Microsoft, as MTG Arena and Magic Online are both Microsoft software, and it's a cross of interest or something. Interesting. I assumed it was because of Marvel Snap. That was my assumption, is that Marvel Snap was the reason. It fills up quick during spoiler season, chomp. It fills up quick. So today, as far as playing Magic, we're going to play some Random Encounter because I love Random Encounter. And I found 2 new builds of Random Encounter. We played a $20 Random Encounter deck, like on Budget Magic a couple months ago. These are non-budget builds. I found one from an infamous small Japanese tournament, which has Ovaya, it has Anzreg, it's got some spice in there. And then I found one from Twitter. This one's from, I think Scotty Fisher was the player's name. And this one, it's got Boiler Biggles. It looks a little bit more like a non-budget version of what we played on Budget Magic. So I just love spin and win with Random Encounters. So we're going to do some random encountering. We're going to talk some Spider-Man. We can talk about the show. I played a show this weekend for the first time in forever. Oh my God. I wish there was a video of it because y'all would think it was hilarious. So we go to play this show. I haven't played out in forever. I've been playing with my little brother's band, playing the keyboard. So we're playing the show. My little brother, my God, my little brother. We're halfway into the show, and I didn't know he was gonna do this. So we're halfway into the show. We go in between songs. My little brother goes up to the mic. So yeah, how you having fun, everyone? So we have someone famous with us tonight. I was like, oh no, I know where this is going. He said, yeah, do any of you play Magic the Gathering? Over here, we have my brother, Saffron Olive. Hey, Saf, do the voice, do the intro, do the voice. Oh my God, it was so good. It was so good. He got me so good. It was super fun. I felt a little, yeah. I felt a little rusty because it's been so long. It's been so long since I played out, but I think that overall it went good. Oh, please. I don't know. I gotta say, maybe someone in the crowd was recording it, but it wasn't officially. Any fans in the audience? Oh yeah. So there was a few people there. Yeah, there was somebody came up to me after the show and was like, "Oh, I've been following you so long. I watch all your videos. I love you. All this stuff." And he was talking to me after the show. It's like 10 o'clock at night, so it's dark out because this is like outside at this like festival setup. So he's talking to me, and it's like, the typical like, "Oh, good to meet you," all that stuff. He goes to walk away. My nephew was there, who's like 12, and the guy goes to walk away. My nephew reaches up and grabs one of my beard hairs and pulls it out and goes to hand it to the guy. It's like, what are you doing? Why are you pulling out my beard hair? And it was like, oh, I thought it would be a nice souvenir for your fan. It's like, oh my God, this is why I don't go out in public with you people. Oh, so it was an adventure. It was an adventure. It was fun though, yeah. Anyway, yeah, the show was super fun. I might play with him again. If I play again, I'll try to get a video of it so I can at least share a bit of it. Anyway, yeah, Spider-Man Magic. Let's do more reminders. And we can start playing some Magic. We can talk Spider-Man. We can talk. I know I did a video about this already, which you probably saw yesterday, but Standard. We had the Spotlight series. And I look at this page and I honestly don't know if I should laugh or cry. just look at those. Oh wait, there's not a red mana symbol. Look at those red mana symbols. Look at this format. Look at these cauldrons. it's kind of funny in a way that's really not funny, but Mono Green Stoppy, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super for you. Thank you. Anyway, reminders. Replay YouTube. Let's invite all the old streams, including this one, to the future. Normal YouTube. Spider-Man spoilers this week. We're being miserable next tomorrow on Against Odds. We got a really fun Against Odds that y'all are gonna like. So that's coming up tomorrow. Tons of stuff on the YouTube. If you didn't watch the standard video from yesterday about what's going on with Cauldron, check that out as well. So check out all that stuff. A reminder that our sponsor today is Card Kingdom. If you need some magical cards, you can get them over at cardkingdom.com/mtggoldfish. So thank you to Card Kingdom for supporting the show. Thank you for the standard is cooked video. Wizards needs a long, hard look in the mirror. I would agree with that. Flourishing. We're flourishing. I think, well, all I want is this. This is what I want out of it. And I know that bannings suck. Wizards doesn't like bannings. Players don't like bannings. I wish bannings were never necessary, but I think they're priced into having to ban stuff again. Like, I'm just not sure how you can not ban stuff. I do want to make it super clear, though, to people, and we will see this in action today. When you look at this meta, and see, it started at like 30% Cauldron, ended at, oh my god, a huge 54% of day 2, 75% of the top 8, blah, blah, blah. Ended with a huge amount of Cauldron. Arena is not like this, though. I would be shocked if we played against Cauldron 50% of the time today or something. So I think Arena is going to be better than the tournament paper meta. So that's the good news. The bad news is Wizards still needs to do something about that. Yo, and Leafheart for the 39th month. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. Thank you. I generally don't understand when they print cards that are obviously above rate. I never understood Nadu more than I understand VV. I even understand Nadu more than I understand VV. So we want Wizards to print exciting cards. Wizards wants to print exciting cards because they sell packs. And I think most players also want there to be interesting and exciting cards. As I said in the video yesterday, I think it all comes down to taking smart risks. I think when it comes to the design issues, we want Wizards to take some amount of risks, but we want smart risks. We want measured risks. And I don't think that's what we're seeing with stuff like VV or Nadu. I think we're seeing a failure in the design and testing process with those cards. We're seeing Wizards essentially not doing their job. Like, there is a straight up quote from Wizards about Nadu when they explained the banning of the card, where they basically said, we never tested the final version of the card. Literally just straight out said it. We never tested the final version of this card. So I think that stuff like that, that's the stuff that needs to be changed. Like, it's not that we never want Wizards to take risk, and we want them to always print boring grizzly bears, vanilla tutus for 2. Like, that's not exciting. That's not going to lead to a fun game that people are excited to play either. But we want those risks to be measured, and we want them to be smart. And if you're going to make risks like VV and Nadu, I would think that you want to test that even more. I remember I made this video one time that it flopped pretty hard that I thought was funny, and it was about the different type of people who proxy, and it was like a humor, like comedy video, and that was a video that it was so different, and I felt like it was kind of risky because it was like humor, and I don't really do humor, like that's not my thing, I'm not a comedian. So on that video, I spent way more time like talking to other people on the Goldfish crew and showing it to them and being like, yeah, is this okay? Is there anything in here that like crosses any sort of line and shouldn't be in there? When with a normal video, I don't do any of that. Like, no, I just make a video, I post a video, but I knew I was doing something that was maybe riskier than the average video. So I went out of my way to take a lot of time to make sure I wasn't doing anything that was across the line or was going to mess anything up. I feel like that's what you got to do with card design too. Like, you probably don't got to spend a lot of time testing Tender Wild Guide because we've seen a lot of 2-mana 2/2s that make mana. Like, that's a thing that's existed. Like, you don't need to do a ton of testing of that. But if you're going to take a risk on something like Vivi or something like Nadu, I think those are the cards that you would double down on testing a ton. Like, I would want a ton of testing done on those cards because those are the cards that are different and unique, and you're trying to push them, and there's a high chance of something going wrong. So I think that's a big part of the problem. But anyway, let's start playing some Magic. We can talk about it as we go along. Your videos are always diplomatic, and I thought that the recent one was another example of restrained, reasonable point of view. Well, thank you, Red Arrogant Knight. I have found that criticism is more likely to be productive if it's reasonable and also actionable than if it's just yelling and ranting at the screen. Like, the reason that I make a video like that isn't because I just want to complain about Magic. I love Magic. Magic is like a huge part of my life. It's the greatest game. I spend so much time on this. I just want to see Magic be like as fun as it can be, and as fun as I know it can be, and as good as it can be. So whenever I know Prof says this a lot of times too when he does a video that's critical, it's coming from a place of love and wanting to see Magic succeed and wanting to see other people enjoy the game to the level that I've been able to enjoy the game. So I think being critical is actually important. So you do English majors proud. Oh, well, thank you, Dentello. Actually, I was kind of an English major, so I was actually a creative writing major for a long time. My college jumped around a lot in college, but for a while I was a creative writing English major. So I got to diamond with Temur Planeswalkers. I'd love to see your opinion. Let me see, Joe. We're playing some Timeless. Interesting. Mana Leak? Why Mana Leak? That card, that is interesting. Huh, is it just for mana purposes? Because we have Counterspell, right? We have Mana Drain. But I guess it's just easier to cast? That is the upside of Mana Leak, right? Even though it's not as hard of a counter, you don't need double blue to cast it on turn 2, which is actually kind of relevant in some decks. Honestly, Joe, I haven't seen a deck like this, really. Interesting. It looks cool, though. I like it. I mean, Wrenn and 6 is really good. You get the Strip Mine lock. It looks like a pretty solid deck. Wildcard purposes also make sense. Although I could see the mana actually being an argument for it, too. Yeah, it looks sweet, Joe. Do you think we'll get a cycle of Mayhem Tri-lands like the one spoiled so far? Oh, okay, we'll talk about this deck and start playing Magic, but let's look. Oh, there's another new card. We're going to be getting spoilers. We're going to be getting spoilers all day. All right, let's look at this card. Because I haven't even seen this card. Feed the Swarm. Boo. Boo. What do you all think of this land? I'm curious about how land this good is. Oscorp's Industries. So it's a land. It enters tapped. It makes 3 colors of mana. It makes Grixis mana. If it enters from your graveyard, you lose 2 life. And then it has Mayhem. So you can play it from your graveyard if you discarded it this turn. This is probably the most interesting design that I've seen from Spider-Man so far. And I think this card might be pretty good. So obviously, you have to be some sort of discard deck to really take advantage of it. But in that deck, it's a free discard to fear missing out. It's a free discard to any of your discard stuff. And in a Mayhem deck, you're going to be discarding it all the time, right? That's kind of the whole point of it. It does enter tapped, which keeps it from being too overpowered. And you do lose a couple of life. But I think this card has potential to be really good. Kefka, yeah, good with Kefka. There's so many Monument of Endurance. There's a lot of decks that are discarding cards right now. I will say, I don't think it'll be a cycle. My guess is this is a standalone land because Grixis is the colors of Mayhem in the set. I'd be surprised if there was like a non-Grixis version of this land. Maybe there is, but I would be surprised. I'm not expecting a cycle, but I really like the design of it. Let's see what this card is. Strength of Will. 2 mana instant. Until end of turn, target creature you control gains indestructible land. Whenever this creature is dealt damage, put that many +1 counters on it. That's actually kind of cool. I mean, that can theoretically add a ton of power, but it adds it at a very weird time. So the way I see this working is like you get in combat, right? You're getting combat, you block a big thing with your smaller thing, then you play this, you get a bunch of counters, your thing gets really big. Is it better than just some 1-mana versions of this effect? I don't know, but it is cool. I don't think it's like a staple or anything, but it is interesting. Pumpkin Bombardment seems really good for the Mayhem decks, although it only has creatures. If they have face, this card would actually be really good. It would actually be really good. I'm curious, I gotta ask, where are you at with Imposter Syndrome? When I think of Spider-Man as someone that does not know Spider-Man, this is what I think of, because I'm on the internet a lot. And the meme is pretty iconic. It's also a little weird to see it on a Magic card, but anyway, let's random encounter. So what are we trying to do with random encounter? We're trying to cast random encounter. When you cast a random encounter, you gotta shuffle your deck, then you mill 4 cards, and then you put all the creatures into play. And then you can flash it back for even more mana. So in the early game, we got Llanowar, we got Tender Wildguide, we got Summon Fenrir to ramp us up towards random encounter. And then we spin it to win it, we random encounter, we hope we get some Vaultborn Tyrants. Maybe we get a Spinewoods Armadillo. Maybe there's a Craterhoof Behemoth. If we get Tear of the Peaks, as our stuff enters, we burn our opponent, probably win the game. We got an Anzareg for some reason. I don't know why. Ask the infamous small Japanese tournament players. But there's an Anzareg there, because why isn't there? And then we have Ovaya as our backup, which is a 4-mana 1/2 that essentially does the Elvish Piper thing. We can pay 1 and just drop a creature into play from our hand. And our attacking creatures get Trample, which is kind of nice. So that's the plan of the deck. So we're gonna start. I love random encounter. It's so fun. We're gonna start with this build. This is a build I'm less certain on with the Ovayas and stuff. And then we also have this build, which to me, this build basically feels like a non-budget version of the deck we played on Budget Magic. It's very similar, except you get a bunch of upgrades where, like, you have some Overlord of the Hauntwoods for ramp, you have Bloomvine Regions for ramp, cards that we just couldn't play in a $20 deck. So this is like the non-budget version, essentially, of the deck that we actually were playing on Budget Magic a while ago. So yeah, Armadillo's funny. Like, the upside is it gives us something to do early by discarding it to get a land and gain a bit of life. Not the best hit off of random encounter, though, although it's still a 7/7. Like, it's not horrible, but all right, let's randomly encounter. Let's see what happens. Let's start with the Japanese version. We'll go with the Japanese version. Oh wait, no. Is Arena down? Oh no. Oh, wait, is Arena actually down? That's not good. That's not good at all. Wait, Twitter. Let's see. Oh, they haven't tweeted in 10 days. Okay. I guess I don't know. What is this card? Villainous Wrath. 5 mana, target opponent loses life equal to the number of creatures they control. Then destroy all creatures. Oh, that's actually... Wow, that's actually a really good commander card, honestly. That's actually a really good... Black, as much as Black is known for... All right, avert your eyes, Chad, avert your eyes. As much as Black is known for being like a good removal color... Let's see if this update fixes things. If not, then we might actually have to go to Moto. Black is known as a good removal color. However, they're actually not that good at wrathing. If you look on like EDH Rec or whatever, the best wraths are Damnation. You got Toxic Deluge, and then it's like Crux of Fate, which is pretty medium if you're not a dragon deck. So I think this actually is like the third. The do not. So, oh my God, long story, Space Jesus. But essentially, I made a mistake a while ago where I recorded this like hour-long video, and then I was running out of space on my computer, so I deleted a bunch of stuff, and then I deleted the footage, and I had to redo the entire video. Oh no. So now I'm very concerned that I'm accidentally going to delete something. So that's why we have the do not delete folder. The Death of Gwen Stacy. 3 mana Saga. Destroy target creature. Okay, so murder. Moira. Lore counter number 2. Each player may discard a card. Each player doesn't lose this 3 life. Okay. Exile any number of target players' graveyards. Huh. I mean, that doesn't seem that bad. Doesn't seem that bad. So 3 mana reanimate, 3 mana removal into loss of life or discard into graveyard hate. That seems reasonable. All right, can we actually have a random encounter? Please. Please, Arena, please. Oh my god. Wait, is Arena working for any of you? Is Arena actually just down? Is this on my end? Do I need to, like, restart my computer, or... Is anyone else having luck with Arena? Well, maybe we're not playing Arena today. Servers are under maintenance. Hooray. Well, that's unfortunate timing. Well, let's see what's going on Magic Online, I guess. 2.5 out. Man, horrible timing. Or we just talk about Spider-Man, I guess. talk about Spider-Man cards. So what is the actual hype level for this set? I wonder, because the internet's so critical. If you read, like, social media, Reddit, it sounds like a lot of people expect the Spider-Man's just gonna, like, hard flop. I'm really not sure. I think it'll end up selling well, though. I do have to say, the more I see of it, I'm pretty mid on the set. I feel like I'm the person that every set I'm like, I'm super hyped for this set. This set, I'm actually, the more I see of it, the more I'm pretty mid. Like, there's some cool cards I'm excited to play with. There are some cool cards that I'm excited to play with that I think are really neat. I do actually like some of the special treatment art, even though I'm not a superhero or Spider-Man person, but I think some of the art just looks really cool. I feel like a lot of the designs, though, are like, I don't know. I'm not sure, like, how much play they're going to see outside of Commander. I feel like so much of the design is funneled into stuff that cares about spiders, that either spiders are going to be good, which sounds crazy to say, but maybe that happens. So either spiders are going to be good, or we're going to have a lot of, like, spider cards that are going to be Commander only cards. Maybe Mayhem is the closest to being like a playable standard deck that comes out of it. How do you feel about Oko and Timeless? How is it so dominant in Standard and Modern, and it sees very little play in Arena? Timeless is a unique format. It is a very unique format. Timeless is, I believe, the most degenerate format in all of Magic. And as strong as Oko is, it is still a fair card, right? Like, it's still, like, it's adding bodies to the battlefield. It's working as a removal spell. What Oko is not doing is letting you combo off and win the game out of nowhere. And that's a lot of what Timeless is about. Is like, yeah, there are some control decks. I do see Oko on occasion, and like control decks or some mid-range decks. But Oko just doesn't do anything if your opponent's just going to go Dark Ritual, Necro, draw my deck. Or they're just going to go like Dark Ritual, Storm stuff, win the game. Or they're going to go like Show and Tell, cast my deck with Omniscience. Like, it just doesn't do anything against that stuff. So I think that's the biggest issue, is just like, as strong as Oko is, it's still a fair card. And fair cards just have a hard time in Timeless. Let's see. The world's longest password. Did we do it correctly? Hey, maybe. Hey, we did it. Mayhem is an unneeded fix to Madness. I'm trying to think of how it's different. I mean, I guess it is very similar. You get cast from graveyard synergies, which I guess is one of the ways they've tried to make it different, is if something entered from your graveyard, you get the ability, which Madness technically enters from exile, so that doesn't really work. But it is very similar to something like Madness. Have you seen Darkness, Crystal, Singularity Rupture, Rivertrend Monument combo controlled like this here to pop up in Standard? This is a build I'm piloting on Arena. So I've seen similar decks. I haven't seen it with the crystal. Like, that's the part that's kind of unique to me. But I've definitely played against some control decks that are definitely trying to win by milling you out with Singularity Rupture. So that part I've seen. Everyone about Final Fantasy never came back to play Standard. I don't know about that. Like, it's so funny because the evidence suggests that paper Standard's not really doing that well, but at the same time, it seems like Arena Standard is doing very well. Well, what do we have to play? So Vintage Cube. What do you want to do, chat? Assuming Arena's down, options are play a modern deck. Find a cool. I don't have a modern deck ready because I thought we were playing Standard today, but we can find a cool modern deck and play it. We can play limited, which would be Cube. Give me your pick. What would you rather see? Is there anything spicy in new and modern? I feel like modern's actually in a pretty healthy spot right now. Like, if you look at the modern meta is actually in a pretty good place. Modern Siege Rhino, maybe not in a good place for Siege Rhino though, but it is a pretty diverse meta. Once I got over the dislike of so many Modern Horizons cards in the format, I think the format's actually pretty good right now. Wait, does that say land destruction? Tishana's Tideminder. Okay, Stifle the Land. Cleansing Wildfire. What is this? Lose focus, okay. Rise and Shine for artifact lands becoming threats. Wow, this is just all the stifles. Tails End. Boom Bust. Oh my god, I kind of want to play this deck now. This deck looks horrible. I don't know if we win a game with it, but I kind of want to play this deck now. Should we play some Boom Bust? You want a Boom Bust? This modern deck seems way cool. Let me see. What's Mengu? What's Mengu playing? Oh, this is very similar to. Actually, no, it's kind of different. It reminds me of the Flibblethip deck we played. It's kind of similar to the Flibblethip deck. Omnath, though. Boo, Omnath. All right, let's pull plans. Let's do it. Let's try it. Let's play this silly Stifle deck. I just want to try it. All right, let's do it. I mean, I guess it's Stifle Panza. How do we not have actual Stifle in modern yet? That's kind of crazy. Man, it's been a while since we have a modern stream. Let me change the stream title too for people coming in. All right, well, let's Ponza it. Oh, did I not? Hang on. Oh my god. Okay. So no Dead Gone, no boot. Okay, import it like that. We need Boom Bust. So Boom Bust and Dead Gone. Boom Bust, Dead Gone, and then change it to modern. All right. Well, it is time to blow up some lands. Take down my store champ because Edge of Eternities, because there's only 4 people as opposed to 16 for Final Fantasy. I am glad you brought that up. That is something I really wanted to ask y'all. What is Standard like where you are at? Because I think one of my biggest concerns right now, coming out of this weekend, I did that video talking about Standard, what's going on in Standard, all the issues with Standard. We know that stuff, right? I'm new to MTG on PC. What client is this? This is Magic Online, which is the original digital client. Arena's down at the moment, so we switched over to the old school to blow up some lands in modern. What is standard attendance like where you're at? Can you actually play paper standard where you're at? Do people show up? Do people show up to your events? Because I've heard reports of other people. So we had the big showcase event that only had 600 some people, down from 1,500 people last time. I've seen people posting on social media about like, oh man, we're on the draw. If we're on the play, this hand would be insane. On the draw, we're still gonna keep it. Double Boom Bust from the Indestructible land. Well, I mean, we're gonna keep it. We'll see if being on the draw makes it too slow. All right, opponent. Oh, he probably should. Let me see. Haha! Look at that. Go to the Moto setup. Wait, why is my... There we go, over the chat. But I've seen people talking about like, oh, I went to my store championship and I won by default because no one else showed up and things like that, which I think that's concerning. If you can't actually play standard, that is a concern. I tried Moto Commander once with a precon. I kind of like Moto Commander, honestly. I've played it so much because we used to do Commander Clash on Moto, so I'm very familiar with it. I like the ease of using Magic Online. Like, being able to play, I think it's the easiest way to play an actual game of Commander from your house. That said, it is very spreadsheety. It does kind of look like an Excel sheet. Opponent, Malevolent Rumble. Gonna do some digging. Oh, Utopia Sprawl. Man, we're kind of hoping that Utopia Sprawl will land and then we'd blow it up, but... Well, this should be interesting. Land Destruction versus Eldrazi. Actually, this might be Brood Scale combo. Well, no, Devour. Well, let's see. Opponent passes. Well, we will play a Steam Vents Untapped. And let's start blowing up lands. Boom. So blow up the Indestructible land. Blow up your forest. The only bad thing I will say, well, the Excel part might be a bad thing, but the other bad thing about Magic Online is there isn't a true free-to-play mode like there is on Arena. So it's going to cost you something to play Magic Online. The good news is it's actually cheaper overall in a lot of ways. If you just want to like get a tier deck, it's actually easier and cheaper to do on Magic Online than it is on Arena. Opponent, Blast Zone, and Trinisphere. Okay. Sure. Well, opponent, we don't really care about that. Ooh, Tidebinder. Why in this deck? Hey, Tugors MTG. Thank you for the raid. Welcome, welcome, welcome. The rental programs are great. Yes, 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 yes. Oh, I was meaning for the person who was just literally downloading Moto for the first time right now. The rental programs are the best way to do it for sure. What is actually in this deck? Should we be playing? We don't really care too much about Trinisphere. What can we get with? We get Pithing Needle, Relic of Progenitus, so not much with the Saga. So I think we just play the Steam Vents untapped. And we're going to keep blowing up lands. 1, 2, 3. Boom. Indestructible land. Forest. And I think our opponents kind of locked themselves out of the game. This Trinisphere not looking too hot at the moment. Our opponent spent their spawn token to play his... Oh no, Eldrazi Temple. All right, opponent. Bassin. Sure. We draw. Subtlety. Well, play the Urza Saga. And it's Chandra time. We are partying like it's 2016. Chandra Torch of Defiance. Take it up. Burn ya. Man, that would have been sweet if we had the mana, but we do not. Hit you down to 17 past the turn. We got a Subtlety if our opponent has some busted creature. Thank you for the raid, Tugor. Hey, Seth. Since last week someone talked about Doppelgang, I want to share my take on the deck. Keeping it pretty budget friendly, but there's still lots of fun. Can you tell me what could be upgraded? Hey, let me see, Mano VHS. Yeah, let me pull it up. Opponent passing. Come on, land destruction. Another Urza Saga. Well, let's take up Chandra. Ooh. Yeah, I think we cast that. 1, 2. Oh, we gotta pay 3. Huh, do we cast it? Actually, no. You know what? We're not gonna cast it. Whatever. You can have your Eldrazi Temple. I think it's better off. We want to leave up the subtlety. We want to leave up the Tideminder, and we want to leave up the ability to make a token with Urza Saga. So I don't think it's worth, because of the Trinisphere, I don't think it's worth playing the Cleansing Wildfire. If they didn't have the Trinisphere, it'd be worth it, but... Opponent. Oh, Kozilek's Command? We can't actually stop that. That's awkward. Kozilek's Command spawns. Kozilek's Command's so ridiculous. That card's so good. I really wanted to play the Scapeshift deck in Pioneer, but not all the cards exist on Arena. That deck looks cool, though. All right, opponent's Kozilek commanding. Let's see what this looks like. Simic Wild Deserts. Ooh, that's spicy. Outcaster Greenblade. I forgot about that card. This reminds me kind of... So I would say I would play more ramp. I feel like I would play more ramp probably. I have found that when it comes to doppelgang decks, you want pretty much as much ramp as you can possibly play. So I would try to fit in some more of that over like the armadillos and so forth. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of Armadillo in the deck. I would probably play more hard ramp and go down some of the, like, put a land in your hand style ramp. The other thing I would say is you might also want more lands. I have found like 27-ish lands to maybe be the right number, just because, like, for Splunking to ramp, you need extra lands. I guess the Armadillos help there, so maybe that makes up for it if you're keeping the Armadillos. The deck looks fun, though. That looks super fun. I know. Why is Arena not working? Pout it. Passing. Well, 1, 2. Let's make a construct. Untap. Ooh, that's a boom. That is a boom. That is kind of huge. Well, float a mana. Actually, do we even want the boom? What if we destroy all lands? How bad? Do we win? Do we win if we destroy all lands? Oh, we have a Chandra, right? So we should. So float a mana. Get a... relic, I guess? Wait a minute. I know, I actually think we might just bust here. We take up Chandra for mana. Chandra's at 7. We blow up all the lands and then just win with Chandra Ultimate. That seems like that should work, right? Are we gonna make ourselves lose? We gotta go for it. Okay, we gotta go for it. How do we not bust it here? All right, take up the Chandra for mana. Bust. Actually, I guess we should tap and float mana. 1, 2, 3. Bust. Destroy all lands. Opponent. What do we got, opponent? The problem is if they have a big Kozilek's command, I guess they can try to do stuff just with the spawns. And that seems like what's happening is opponent's gonna Kozilek's command, make 5 spawns, scry 5. So they're still going to have 5 mana. Can we beat 5 Eldrazi spawns? We get to keep our bridge. This deck's sweet. This deck's sweet already. Hey, what's up, Mazmal? How are you? Good to see you. All right, lands down. And we will pass the turn. Stay on defense. About it. Well, we are locked out of doing anything, and if we ultimate Chandra, we can't cast anything. Found it, Misty Rain, because of the Trinisphere, which the Trinisphere is actually kind of doing work for our opponent here. Pona gets a forest. Pona. Going to pass. Well, let's sack the Relic, draw a card. Force a negation. Okay, there's a Scalding Tarn. I'll play the Scalding Tarn. Interesting. I actually don't know what to do here. If we ultimate Chandra, anytime we cast a spell, we get 5 damage. But we can't cast a spell until we get another mana because of Trinisphere. We can take up Chandra for mana, which lets us play stuff. But we don't really have anything great to play. We can't tick it up and then, like, subtlety something at instant speed. I'm worried about them just casting, like, a Devourer. Like, if we take up Chandra, and then they cast a Devourer next turn and exile the Chandra, we probably just lose, right? So we're just going to do nothing? We can't even cast a Force Negation. All right, well, we'll take it up. I'm not sure this is right, but we'll take it up. We can't do anything with the mana anyway. Oh, I'm so scared of a Devourer here. Well, pass the turn. We can't cast Shadows. Well, I guess we could have cast the Shadow Sphere off the Chandra mana. That's true. I think it's better to hold it for after we ultimate, though. And then we get 5 damage. I mean, Pone's at 12, so we need 3 spells. Well, there's the mana. Man. Can we beat a Devour if they Devour? If it wasn't for the Trinisphere, yes. But with the Trinisphere, maybe not. Devour is 7, yeah, and it can exile the Chandra. If we draw 1 more land, then we're kind of in business. Then at least our free spells are on. Do you have any suggestions for standard Boros slivers? Oh, here it comes. I tried to mess around with slivers in standard. I cannot really make them work. I think the idea is super funny. The Thrumming Hivepool is super cute. Oh, did they fail to find? Oh, they failed to find. Oh my god. 1, 2, 3, 4. Only 5 forests. No Devourer. Thought it's heck of those spawns. So like Myco spawn gonna find themselves another land, unfortunately. Opponent. We're gonna play random encounter on Arena, but Arena went down. So now we are playing this weird, is it land destruction stifle deck? I guess in, man, if we could cast stuff in modern. Opponent gets Ugin's Labyrinth, and does this deck have Surveil lands? Do we have Surveil lands in this deck? If we have a Surveil land, we're definitely... No Surveil land. Ooh, that's awkward. All right, well, we're not going to correct the fetch then. Land off the top. That works. Darksteel Citadel. Okay. So now we can cast things, which is big, 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 big. So now we will definitely Ultimate Chandra. And get in and hit ya. Get in and hit ya. We're in close out the game mode now. Found it. Gonna block. Sure. So we still need to cast, 3 spells. Or 2 spells. 2 spells and 1 more Chandra uptick. We're so close. Found it. Eldrazi's a really good deck too. Opponent untaps. Opponent. 2 mana with the Ugin's Labyrinth. What can you do, Eldrazi? We did draw 3. We double boomed and then busted. We drew a lot of boom busts this game. Arena updates to decks. Cosmic Spider-Man will be called Scion of the Earth. No. Really? No, are you kidding? That's actually kind of perfect. About it. Ugin's Labyrinth. Sure. We could stifle that. I think it's better to leave up the subtlety, though. Utopia Sprawl for 3 mana. Well, let's force it just to get the damage down to 6. Opponent. Passing. Oh, we got him. 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 Take up Chandra. Bang ya. Down to 4. No, we're not casting the spell, whatever it is. And then we will burn you out with a Shadow Sphere. And that went so well. That went so well. The Arena reskins look like garbage. I mean, Scion of the Earth Spider is kind of funny, I guess. I wasn't sure. Do you go full on memes with it, or do you actually try to do it seriously? It seems like they're trying to do it seriously, but the full on meme mode would also be kind of funny. So yeah, I haven't had any luck making slivers actually work in standard. I feel like we need either some actual slivers or better changelings, but this is very similar. Like the changelings, adaptive automation, that was kind of the direction I tried to go. I went mono red and I didn't have any luck with it. I didn't play Mox Jaspers. Maybe Mox Jasper is the way to go to like speed it up a little bit. I do like that idea. But the issue I ran into is just essentially like my card quality isn't very high. So if you get into like a battle where it's like good card versus good card, it's really tough when you got a bunch of like all the creatures are just so underpowered compared to standard. If you can get down a quick thrumming hive pool, that was the one way I found it could actually be pretty good. If you just like your opponent doesn't interact, you play some quick changelings, you get on a hive pool, then all your stuff, having double strike in haste is actually really, really huge. But yeah, I mean, I think it's a good attempt. I think it's just the card pool is a little bit lacking for making it work. I think they will I think that the arena versions will get printed into paper eventually. I think they almost certainly will. I think that, well, we want Consigned to Memories. Consigned to Memories. Maybe an Ether Spell Bomb is better than a Relic. And is Force of Negation even worth it? I guess Force could theoretically get... Yeah, maybe Force is worth it. Lose Focus. Counter target spell unless its controller piece 2. Why are we playing this? All right, let's do it like that. We'll get on one of each of them. Ooh, you must have won that one, Con Man. Hey, what's up, dog? How are you? We're playing Modern by default at the moment. Huh. All right, I mean, we got 3 lightning bolts. That's a lot of burn. Found it. Devourer of Destiny. Yeah, Arena's down at the moment, so we're blowing up lands in Modern, talking Spider-Man spoilers. We have our exclusive Goldfish spoiler in about 40 minutes. You can Krim did this one. Krim's a Spider-Man fan, so he was the perfect person to spoil the Spider-Man card. Opponent Ugin's Labyrinth. Also, his deck kind of feels like it would want Blood Moon. Why is there no Blood Moon? Do current modern players not appreciate the power of Blood Moon? I mean, the text under the name means this card is the same as another UB card. Can they even use the UB name there? No, that's the issue. Oh boy, this is gonna be rough. That quick Trinisphere. Turns out lands that make 2 mana are pretty good. Well, okay. Yeah, our opponent might be in business this game. Opponent, Prismatic Vesta. And Thought-Knot Seer. Oh, we're actually pretty close to just scooping here. We're kind of pretty locked under this Trinisphere. I mean, the issue with doing reskin reprints of Universes Beyond cards is I don't think that they can legally print, like, you know how they do the reskins and put the name underneath it? I don't think they can legally do that with the IPs that they don't own. So I'm not sure exactly how they're going to do it. I think it'll have to be actually just like the Arena cards. I think the only way you can really do reprints of cards that have the other IP is to actually just have them be a fully different card with the same abilities and so forth. Yeah, just like they have with the past, right? We've seen some of these with Secret Lairs already. Opponent getting him with the Thought-Knot Seer, hitting us. Down to 16, and oh man, if they have another big follow-up here. Yeah, Trinisphere is actually really, really annoying here. Opponent, 6 mana. Well, maybe we need the forces just to stop the Trinisphere. Maybe that's the power. Oh, all right. Yep. Sure. Yeah, got it. Trinisphere. So maybe we got to keep the force. Maybe we got to keep the forces just because Trinisphere is so brutal. Rise, Shine, Tails End. Yeah, let's go full forces. I really don't want to get Trinisphere again. One of the bigger problems with this is Warhammer and Doctor Who kind of stuff. How do you reprint a card with a creature type Tyrannid? Honestly, man, it's stuff like that makes me worry that this is really, really bad for the game in like 10 years. Like, it's not an opinion that Wizards will listen to because they're making so much money right now. But I do think, like, when you think about where we're at now and how cards are being printed and, like, how do you reprint the cards? What do you do if you don't own the IP and you need to reprint the cards? Like, when you think through, like, what does that look like 5 or 10 years in the future? It's really scary. It's honestly it's honestly kind of like the real world in a weird way, where you look and you're like, with the path the world is going down, if you look 10 years in the future, can you see like a light at the end of the tunnel of how somehow all this stuff comes together and works out in a way that's positive for people? And sometimes it's really hard to see that. That's kind of the same thing I feel like with... this hand doesn't do anything. Yeah, we're gonna mulligan. This hand doesn't do anything. Well, this hand has no lands. But it's kind of the same thing when I think through, like, how does this actually work out 10 years from now when we need to start reprinting these cards? I don't have a good answer for that. There's not a good answer for that I've come up with yet. Oh man! All right, we're keeping this. We need red mana. We need red mana, like, super desperately. Do we put 2 lands to the bottom? So we want this. We need to draw a red source. We can put a force to the bottom, but then we don't have a blue card if they have... all right, we gotta... Do we put a land at the bottom? That sounds insane. So Urza Saga goes to the bottom. How do we win this game? We draw a red source. We start boom busting. We find a threat. I guess we got to put force to the bottom. All right. So we need a miraculous mountain draw off the top for next turn. And this hand's going to be really good. Yeah. But I don't think... oh, they're going to play around it too. Come on, deck. Come on, deck. How about a Tail's End would be interesting now. Ooh, okay. Opponent playing around the boom bust, but opponent, you didn't play around the Tail's End. You didn't play around the Tail's End, opponent. Okay, now we need a mountain. Oh, this fetch land's so done for. Opponent, Prismatic Vesta. Still holding it. Boo. Opponent passes. We draw another Darksteel Citadel. We pass the turn. I mean, we got indestructible lands for days. We got no red mana. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps. And Ghost Quarter. And what a weird game. And passes. We draw. Oh, another boom bust that we can't cast. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps. I mean, Tail's End's a blue card for force, too. Oh, what an awkward hand. The boom busts are so sweet, we just can't cast them. Yeah, I mean, the Universes Beyond stuff does look pretty... does look pretty reserve listy to me. How do we handle this? I feel like this is bait. I feel like it's bait. We're going to wait. If they crack the Misty... Malevolent Rumble. Yeah, I mean, I guess we got to let it go. Opponent snags Ugin's Labyrinth. Plays Ugin's Labyrinth. Oh, things are looking worse. All right, we really need to draw... we need to draw the red mana this turn. Like, literally this turn. It's got to be... then we can boom bust, and we still have the Tail's End up. We need the red source this turn. Come on, deck. Come on, untapped. That's not it. Okay. Pass the turn. Oh, this hand was so close to being good. Found it. Cracks. Misty Rainforest. At this point, I don't think there's even... our opponent's got so much mana. I'm not sure there's much of a point to Tail's Ending. I think we got to hold on to it for force and negation purposes. About it. I mean, one of the causes of this deck seems to be that the mana is a little clunky, right? Because you got all the Darksteel Citadels and so forth. So that's just going to be part of what happens. Although we should have a red source by now. Hey, what's up, Thornblood? Yeah, Arena's down at the moment, so we moved over. I don't think we can consign the Kozilek's Command X2. I don't think X2 was enough. I think we want to save it for something better. Well, I mean, I think we have to force that. Okay, and then we have to consign that. All right, red source. We need a red source. We need a red source right now, Magic Gods. Come on, Magic Gods. Please. Please. Tidebinder, okay. The problem is eventually they're going to play a big Eldrazi because we're not doing our blowing up lands job very well about it. Arena's back up? Oh, that's good. About it. 4 mana. Thought-Knot Seer. Well, I mean, I guess we might as well stifle the trigger. Yeah, I mean, we might as well stifle the trigger. Oh, this means we don't draw a card when it dies either. Yeah, I mean, I guess at this point we might stick on Moto for a little bit since we're in the middle. We haven't even completed a whole match yet, so we're probably going to do a bit of this deck at least. Redman. What a frustrating draw. We have so much land destruction, we just cannot cast it. It does. This hand is a bust. Very, very good randomy. It does get rid of all the abilities, so we won't draw a card when Thought-Knot dies, unless the Tidebinder dies first. Uh-oh. Yeah, that's just not happening. I feel like Arena's been having a lot of issues lately. I don't know why. Actually, maybe it's that they're trying to put so many cards onto Arena. Maybe that is the reason why. Have we gotten new spoilers? Oh, we have one that I haven't seen. What is this card? Friendly Neighborhood. Okay. So, Spider-Man. Fake Spider-Man. Enchant land, 4 mana. When this enters, create 3 1/1 green and white human citizen creature tokens. Enchanted land has tap. Target creature you control gets +1 and +1 until end of turn for each creature you can. Oh, wait. Is this card good? Yeah, if we could have drawn a red source, that hand would have been sweet. Is this card actually good? This card might actually be good. So, 4 mana sorcery speed for 3 1/1s. And then pay 2 mana essentially, because you got to pay 1 and tap the land that it's attached to pump equal to the number of creatures you control. That seems like it could be reasonable. This hand, we're on the draw again. I mean, I think we're gonna keep it. We don't have any land destruction, but we do have some defense. You can flicker it. That's also true. Yeah, I kind of like this card. I feel like that card could be reasonable. Opponent plains and passing. Well, let's play the bridge. Pass the turn. We got counters for days. I tried your blue-white Texas deck from the recent video. Haha. Can't Field of Ruin a Silver Bluff bridge. Bout it passes. Well, let's Steam Vents untapped. And I mean, I guess we got to do the thing. Or attempt to do the thing. Cleansing Wildfire? The bridge? Get our ramp on. This is actually one of the best ways to ramp, I think, in Red decks and Commander. Opponent is going to Reprieve. Annoying, but legal. Sure. Well, we will pass the turn. Arena somehow sent me into Historic, but Taxes carried 2-1 with a win against Simic Rot Priest. I would not expect that deck to be winning in Historic, but that is incredibly sweet. All right, let's try this again. Blow up the bridge. Yes, we'd like to use the ability. We'll grab a land. We'll miss our land drop. We'll discard Enhance. I guess we discard Shadow Sphere. Oh, interesting. Okay. Well, now I guess we can just get a mountain and bolt our opponent's phase. Actually, I don't even know if we want to do that. Let's just still discard the Shadow Sphere, I think. We probably want this for a creature in the future. What was the deck you played? We were going to play some random encounter. Non-budget. Had a couple of non-budget brews of random encounter, which I think we will still end up playing at some point because I really like random encounters. So we'll still play them, just probably not today. Opponent, Goose Quarter. Man, so much land destruction. Opponent's got their own plan for blowing up lands. We draw, well, I mean, let's go for it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Chandra. We have multiple free pieces of interaction, so we might as well run stuff out. Take up Chandra. Paying it at 18 past the... At least this has some pressure on our opponent. Now you got to deal with a Planeswalker. Skyclave, sure. That's fine. We could subtlety it. I think we'd rather just let this go, and then we can bolt it and get a 4/4. Moop Boy, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big soup for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank ya. All right, opponent. I'm going to blow it up. We'll grab an island. Sure. Opponent gets a plains. Yeah, we're just going to pass. I feel like this might be a good matchup. They're like land destruction, but we're the indestructible land deck. Hey, what's up, Mega Magic Carp? How are you? Opponent, combat, getting in. Well, I mean, bolt yet? Get a 4/4? I mean, there's our finisher. We have a plan. We have a plan. Oh, and there's a boom bust. There's a boom bust. Get in, hit ya. Opponent. Down to 14, past the turn. We're just going to play defense. We're going to play defense. I have a 20 pounds of fluffy idiot hanging out next to my head. How long till he demands food from me? I gotta ask you, Mega Magic Carp, since you have a fluffy idiot. When you give, first off, do you give your cat wet food or dry food? Here's my problem. See if you can solve this problem for me, chat. If you know anything about cats, here's the problem I'm having. So Cece, the couch cat, well, I guess we got to play this Chandra, so we're doing something with our lives. So Cece, she likes her wet food, but when I give her, it just doesn't. I don't think Tails ending the demo field really matters because we get a card back anyway. Opponent's going to reprieve. Sure. I don't really like that we have to discard the hand size here. Actually, you know what? Do we blow up a land? I guess we can just, well, I kind of want to blow up all the lands. Huh. Yeah, let's just wait. Let's just wait. We're going to wait. We're going to pass. We are going to discard a... force. Opponent. Passing. But here's the problem. Here's the problem with Cece. I give her food, right? I give her food, and I'll give her a can of like wet dog food, and she will just like eat maybe a quarter of it, and then she will meow for. So you can only cast Force for free during your opponent's turn. Or else we would have. But yeah, the modern version of Force is kind of designed so you can't use it to protect your own stuff. You can only use it to stop your opponent's things. But yeah, I can't figure out why she does that. And then what ends up happening is her food starts to smell bad and she just wants new food instead of eating her old food, and it's all a mess, and I can't figure out how to make her eat all of her food. All right, let's try this again. Chandra. Take up Chandra. Burn ya. No, we're not going to Pithing Needle. Pass the turn. I mean, if we get to boom next turn with a Chandra in play and 2 indestructible lands, that should win us the game, right, opponent? Solitude. Well, I think we will just make that lose focus. Which is not a card I expected to see play in Modern, but counter it. We still have the subtlety. We still got the Chandra. Opponent needs something big. What do they have? Opponent tapping their mana. 1, 2, 3. Crucible of Worlds. You gotta be kidding me. Oh no. You you know what's really good against land destruction? That would be, oh my god, they scooped it up. Okay, we'll take it. That's like the hard counter to what our deck's tried to do. We can blow up all the lands and then they just replay them all. Every cat is so different with the food that they like. I have 14 cats and not everyone likes the same stuff. That is an impressive amount of cats. I think I would go crazy. I have one cat and she kind of drives me crazy. I wish I could just have her eat dry food, but she likes the wet food. And then Bear just wants the Cease's food for some reason. The cat food just has this, I don't know if it's just because it's the forbidden fruit or whatever, but Bear just has like this obsession with the cat's food, even though he has tons of his own food. But no, he's gotta eat the cat's food. Do you actually? No, I don't give her dog food. No. It was the other way. For some reason, Bear, like the dry food, Bear doesn't really like the dog dry food, but he loves the cat dry food. So Bear eats some of Cease's food just because he loves it. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Living at a farm makes it easier. Are they like outdoor cats then? I think 14 indoor cats would be super hard. 14 outdoor cats, or like being able to go outdoors and like live in the barn or whatever, wouldn't be that bad. Oh, I think that was just a slip. No, it's cat food. It's wet cat food. I mean, she seems like she likes it. She just won't eat all of it. She eats a little bit and then wants a new can rather than finishing the old stuff. Bear just eats anything. Bear's easy. Huh. I don't even know what we want to bring in against this deck. It's just like, I guess the consigns are kind of funny. We don't really have artifact destruction. The consigns are kind of funny because they can stifle the random lands. I guess Rise and Shine. Maybe we go one Rise and Shine. This is another non-fetch land matchup. Let's try something like that. I have tried different flavors, different brands. Well, that is a lot of indestructible lands. We're going to keep it. Hopefully our opponent doesn't have a Crucible. It's nice to see you playing Modern more. Any chance we see more Modern content in the future? So here's the problem I run into, Badger. Is we have moved farther and farther away from the release of Magic Arena. I've definitely noticed that Moto content is just hard for a lot of new people to watch. So all this to say, I think we will see more Modern content because I went through a bit of a stage when we were like almost not playing Modern period for a while. I don't think that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. So we will have more Modern content than during that point, but I also don't think that we'll ever go back to the heyday, at least in the near future, of like Modern being like maybe our most played format, just because it's just tough for new players to look at. It's so tough. I've had a lot of people who have joined the game during the Arena era just really struggle with watching videos with Moto because it's so spreadsheety. So yes, I'm gonna do more of that stuff, but it probably won't be like it was like 10 years ago at the peak. Our spoiled cat loves her broth of wet food and will meow after she's gotten about halfway through the can. Adding a bit of water to it will make her happy again. Ooh, that's a good idea. That's almost what it seems like, is she likes the moisture or something. Because she eats like the super moist part off the outside and then gets bored with it. Yeah, I miss budget Modern decks. That's kind of the struggle. I've really struggled with it since since Modern Horizons came out, I've come to grips with Modern Horizons card just existing in the format. That part of it I've come to grips with recently. I guess we just Cleansing Wildfire ourselves. Cleansing Wildfire, get an island. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Past the turn. I mean, we could boom bust. We probably do boom bust next turn. Disruptor Flute. Sure, they're going to name Chandra. Oh, man, this would be a good boom bust, too. Oh, this is like the dream. We have so many indestructible lands. This is the one-sided Armageddon in Modern. Found it. Yeah, you might have noticed we play a lot more timeless, historic, stuff like that. So, but all this is a yes. I am actively looking to play other formats, and there will still be Moto stuff, for sure, just because there's formats I really love that are only on Moto. Do we just go for it? Do we just... Oh, man. I think we just go for it. I think we just do. If they got a reprieve, they got a man. How risky is this, chat? Do we just go for it? We gotta go. How do you pass it up? They didn't have a counter last turn or didn't use it. The risk is what? We do this, they untap, they play a Crucible, and then we're sad. All right, we're gonna do it. Bust? Destroy all lands? Come on. Opponent. Cracking. Desperately. And... No! We got him! Oh, we got him. We only lost a single land. Found it. Finds a plains. Trying to get back in the game. What are we doing? March of Otherworld? Wait. Settle down there, opponent. Not opponent. Opponent. All right. I gotta boom for that. We gotta boom for that. Blow that up. And opponent. Scoops it up. And that was a good one. Oh man, I do kind of love Modern. Oh man, I love Modern. Arena, it might be, I don't know if it's back up yet, but yes, that's why we switched over, is that Arena went down. Yeah, I know. Our opponent was like mono white. Land destruction. They essentially were mono white land destruction. I don't know what their actual list was, but well, that went well. It is almost spoiler time too. Official Goldfish spoiler in 13 minutes. 13 minutes. Yeah, it seemed like mono white taxes. The part that was throwing me off is they just didn't have creatures. We saw one Skyclave, but usually when I think of taxes, I think of more creatures. But maybe that's just like the old school build. Are there a lot of VVs in Modern? Almost none. VV has not proven to be good enough for Modern. If you look at VV, obviously the best thing going in Standard is he's a bit of Pioneer play, but really it hasn't turned into much of a Modern or Legacy card. I think the problem for VV in the older formats is it is still a card that just dies to removal, and it is 3 mana. So if you're living in a world of like Solitudes and Swords to Plowshares and just all that super cheap or even free interaction, VV is actually not that big of a threat. I mean, it's still probably fine, but it's just not that good of a threat. So really, it's a Standard and Pioneer card. Well, in Commander, obviously. Very good in Commander. But as far as 60-card format, Standard and Pioneer, really. We finally get to play first. Ooh. Huh. So we have Indestructible and Boom Bust, but no red mana. We don't really want... Yeah, we're going to mulligan. We don't really want Shadowsphere in hand anyway. Well, this will keep. We will keep. We'll put a... Probably a Rise Shine to the bottom. Yeah, not having any colored mana definitely made that hand a little bit sketchy. How good? Oh, we'll talk about. I gotta ask you. I gotta ask you about a Spider-Man card. I'll wait. Let's wait till after this match. So there's a Spider-Man card. I want to know how good y'all think it is, because it kind of looks to me like Vivi at Home. Kind of looks a little bit like Vivi at Home. And I'm wondering if it's going to be, how good of a constructed card do you think it's going to be? About it. Island and. Oh, dear God. Okay, well, let's see how dead we are. Pinnacle Emissary warps it in, and there's a Mishra's Bobble. Uh-huh. Oh, yeah, we don't have any artifact destruction in this deck. Mishra's Bobble makes a drone. And, well, okay, that could have been worse. That could have been worse. I've definitely seen Pinnacle Emissary have way more explosive turn ones. That's still not good for us. I mean, this deck probably wants Meltdown in the sideboard or something. Having 0 ways to interact with artifacts is a extra crispy recipe, as they say. Yeah, Electro's the card I'm thinking of. How good do you think Electro is? Well, Thought Monitor, we are going to lose focus that and hope really hard that we draw a land here. Or we might be land destructing ourselves once we lose this Urza Saga. Yeah, the sideboard of this deck is weird. I didn't change it at all. This is just the list that we snagged from the internets. But 0 artifact destruction, I would play some Meltdown. Spawn, I'm gonna crack the bobble. Take a peek. Have y'all been playing Modern lately? I feel like Modern is actually in a shockingly good place at the moment. Like, Modern's actually really fun. Ooh, okay, Cleansing Wildfire doesn't help us in the short term, but this does get us a land long term, which is nice. So Cleansing Wildfire, blow up the Indestructible land, grab a mountain, draw another Urza Saga, play the Saga. But Modern, like, is actually in a really good place right now. Like, I hate to say this because it sounds crazy, but I feel like it's actually almost back to the good old days in a very weird way. So obviously, it's still ruled by Modern Horizons cards. But if you just look at the diversity of them, look at this metagame. If you had showed me this metagame, just like the metagame percentages, with the best deck at like 14%, a ton of decks in the 5% range, a huge list of decks that like show up and, you know, can spike a tournament or win a league. This looks a lot like what Modern looked like 10 years ago, just with a whole bunch of Modern Horizons cards thrown in. But as far as like the diversity of the format, Modern's actually like shockingly, after a rough couple years, in a really good spot. And that's something that actually gives me a lot of hope about Standard, because Modern went through a pretty rough cycle of One Rings and Beanstalks and Scam, and like, and it's recovered. It's recovered and it's gone back to a pretty healthy and pretty fun spot. Do we know if they're ever going to do a Modern Horizons set again? Now that there's 6 sets a year in Standard, I don't know if anyone saw this image. Did anyone see an image going around? And it wasn't, I don't think it was from a WotC source, so I'm not sure if it's true or not. But I saw an image going around. So if we tap that, well, okay. I don't think we make a construct. I think we just float a mana. Float a mana, let it go. Get a Pithing Needle to name Urza Saga. And then play a Chandra. Ooh, Metallic Rebuke. But I saw an image floating around that was showing the sets for next year, and it had the 3 sets that we knew about, going back to Lorwyn and so forth. And then it had, at the end of next year, 3 TBD sets, and one TBD set, one extra TBD set that said non-standard set or something. So I don't know. I'm not sure if that's an official image and that's from WotC, or if it's something someone made up or whatever. But I think that there's a decent chance that next year I don't know if it's Modern Horizons. It could be a Master set. It could be Commander Masters. It could be Commander Legends. Could be Battle Bond. But I think there is a non-standard set. That's my guess, is next year there's a non-standard set. Found it. Getting in. Hitting us. Down to 14. All right, well, crack this Scalding Tarn. Miro said some stuff about they've cooled a little bit on Modern Horizons. So I don't know if they'll do another Modern Horizons right away or not. We'll have to see. I guess I kind of hope they don't. Let's take the Relic. And once again, attempt to Chandra. How many counters you playing over there, opponent? All right, opponent. Metallic Rebukes for days. I hope it's not. I kind of, oh man. Oh, I hope it's not Pioneer Masters. I like that Pioneer is the one format that doesn't have Masters stuff. I think that's actually an upside. I also hope they never do Pioneer Masters. Did you see this quote from Miro? Sorry, I got things backwards. Only 9% want a Universes Beyond list format, not one with only Universes Beyond. I haven't heard 9%, but I've seen that those kind of quotes before. Just like, no one actually wants this. Not a lot of people want it. That might actually be true. It's so hard to tell. It's so hard to tell. You always got to remember that you and I, the people who are, oh boy, another Pinnacle Emissary, the people who are watching Magic streams and talking about Magic on social media and going to Magic cons, we are like a very, very small segment of the Magic world. Like, if you include all the casual people who are just like, Spider-Man's awesome, or whatever, I like Final Fantasy, like, when you include all those people, it very well might be true that only 10%-ish, oh god, only 10%-ish of people actually wanna, I think we're dead now, was not expecting Maydeck Blood Moon. So our opponent just drew all counters, all Pinnacle Emissaries in a Blood Moon. Well, now we cannot literally cast anything. Well, let's sack this Relic, draw a card. There's an island, okay. The island's actually kind of nice. That means we can cast things. How can we win from here? Oh, that's 5. How do we beat 5/1/1 flyers? This deck needs Meltdown so desperately. We can turn this into a creature that, yeah, I guess we just... I think this all ends with us losing, no matter what we do. All right, go Silverbluff Bridge. Boom. I should have done that pre-combat. Post-combat makes it even worse. I don't think any of it actually matters, though, because we don't have the tools to beat the drones, and we don't have the tools to win fast enough to win before the drones come down. Found Pinnacle Emissary. My LGS people only play 2x2 Commander. It's not two-headed giant. It's tag team game and normal Commander with no politics. Yeah, you got it. This matchup with this sideboard seems very, very tough. Without the meltdowns, so Force Negation can go. Consign can come in. And even Consign, is Consign even that good here? I don't even know if Consign is that good. Because, like, Pinnacle Emissary is not a colorless card. Thought Monitor is not a colorless card. Tails End. Also worth mentioning, we have not really played against any fetch land decks, which is where the Stifles should be at their best, but we just have not played. We have not played against any. There's literally 0 fetch land decks, which is so funny. Because when I think of Modern, it's like a fetch land format, but I believe Dead Gone is the only mono red bounce spell. Good old Time Spiral. Did some wacky things. The new MTG drama is Scryfall and Spider-Man sets to Unarena. Wait, what's the drama of Scryfall? Oh, this hand's way too slow. Way too slow. All right. Well, we can make a. We can make a. All right. We're gonna try to be the artifact deck. I guess we try to be the artifact deck. What else can we do? All right. Well, there we go. Spirebluff Bridge, go. We can rise and shine to make this into a 4/4. I don't like them keeping all those cards, but I think our best bet here is just to try to be the aggro Ornithopter for our opponent. Hey, See Ya Demonator, thanks for hanging out. We will keep up on the spoilers, but we're not gonna watch the whole mothership stream today. So if you wanna see it, feel free to check it out. We will also look at our goldfish spoiler here momentarily. Well, that's not a bad turn one. 2 Thought Casse. Well, let's play a Scalding Tarn, crack a Scalding Tarn, grab an island, and it is time to rise and shine. Turn on the bridge. Pass the turn. Oh yeah, Sting Scourger. I forgot about that. They used to see playing Legacy Goblins. Sting Scourger. It's time. It's 1 o'clock. The article is live. So Crim made a video to spoil this card that you should watch on the YouTubes. But in the meantime, we got to spoil, thanks to Wizards, Spider-Woman Stunning Savior. Spider-Woman Stunning Savior. A new Azorius. 2/2 for 2. Hybrid Azorius mana. Legendary human spider hero. It is flying, and it says, artifacts and creatures your opponents control enter tapped. I feel like Spider-Woman is actually a pretty solid card. I think it's a card that could actually have constructed implications in Standard. We've seen that Authority of the Consuls, making creatures enter tap, be really good against aggro decks, right? Like, very strong against aggro. Your haste things can't attack you. It slows down Soul Cauldron by a turn. Like, if you play your Cauldron, it's going to be tapped, so at least you can't pop off right away. It doesn't shut it down right away. And it's a 2/2 flying 2-mana body, which is actually not a bad beatdown body. Like, 2/2 flyer for 2 is, I would say, at least on curve for a beater. So I think it's actually like a pretty good tax and stacks creature. I'm curious what y'all think, though, about Spider-Woman. This has so many good 2-drops. That's one thing Spider-Man's got going for it, is the 2-drops in the set are really, really good. And there are a lot of strong ones. Well, let's get in with the bridge. I'm not sure this 4/4 land's going to be able to get the job done. Yeah, the evasion is also relevant. So thank you to Wizards for giving us a spoiler card. I'm sure we'll get some more spoilers to talk about to you from the WotC stream, I would imagine. Well, exile a Thoughtcast, pass the turn, yeah. Affinity is like a do you have the right interaction check deck? So explosive, but it also kind of folds to certain interaction. We don't have that certain interaction, though. Is the stream on now? I mean, I imagine there is. Let me see. Yeah, I think there is a WotC stream. I don't think we're gonna watch the entire WotC stream today, but we will keep up on any of the spoilers that come out from the WotC stream. Lady Octopus Inspired Inventor, 1 mana 0/2. The type line's so long. Human Scientist Villain. Whenever you draw your first or second card each turn, put an Ingenuity counter on it. Tap it. You can cast an artifact spell from your hand with mana value less than or equal to the number of Ingenuity counters on it without paying its mana cost. Ooh, that reminds me. Did we not have a card kind of like that a couple sets ago? I feel like, was it a Joyra? Was there a Joyra that, like, did something kind of similar? I mean, maybe, I don't know if you want to watch the stream. We can watch the stream and look at the spoilers. I feel like this is a card that it looks very powerful, but in practice, I'm not sure how strong it is. Well, Saga ticks up. We draw even more lands. Yeah, this is such a bad spot for us. We don't even have double red for Chandra. So we can play another Urza Saga. I mean, I guess we just keep attacking. I don't know how that ends with us winning exactly, but get in, hit ya, pound it. Because they're just going to super pop off with Pinnacle Emissary. Hit you down to 12. I mean, so it's only a 1-drop. And it's a 1-drop that, I mean, it can be very good, but you have to play and it has to stick out. So the thing it has going for it is if you can play it on turn 1, it is going to build up pretty quickly. And your opponent is eventually going to have to spend a removal spell on it. If you draw it later in the game, it's really, really slow. And I imagine that your opponent can kind of wait and like let it build up a little and then kill it. Pound it. Gets in with a big attack. Hits us. Down to 8. And gonna crack the bobble, take a peek. It's not a meltdown. Yeah, Joyra is something. But it was the same idea where it had to like sit out and build up, and then it became good. It's just hard for cards to sit out and build up these days. The game is so fast, the removal's present. It's just hard to have a card that's got to sit out for like 3 or 4 turns in a constructed format. Aw. I mean, so we're just dead on board, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And our opponent has blockers. Well, I mean, I guess we make a con. I don't think it really matters what we do. We can get a Shadow Sphere and try to gain life. That might be the only option. So get a Shadow Sphere, play a Darksteel Citadel. Equip to the Construct. I guess this is all we got. It is a 7/7 lifelink trampler. Get in, hit ya. I mean, if they have interaction. Oh, no. Oh, yeah, that's game. Man, that was our chance. Hey, what's up, Mario? How are you? Good to see you. The big issue is what artifacts are you cheating in? The juice does not seem worth the squeeze. This ain't making vehicles or station playable. Yeah, I mean, there are good artifacts, simulacrum synthesizer stuff, but most of them are like pretty castable. What is this card? Superior Spider-Man. 4 mana, 4/4 Dimir. You may have it enter as a copy of any creature in the graveyard, except his name is Superior Spider-Man, and he's a 4/4 spider human hero, in addition to its other types. When you do, exile that card. Sacrifice this land, search your library for a basic land card. It's Evolving Wilds. That's Evolving Wilds, right? That's sack this land, search. That's just Evolving Wilds. Okay, now we have Evolving Wilds, Terramorphic Expanse, and Vibrant Cityscape. What do you think about Storm? Like Storm the deck? I think Storm is an iconic combo deck. I like Storm. Having a third Evolving Wilds probably doesn't really change much as far as standard is concerned. Yeah, I think we've reached the point where I don't know if Landfall actually wants it. Like, I don't know if Landfall wants another. Plus, you have Fabled Passage already too, right? So you even have Fabled Passage if we want another one. So I think it's just a flavor thing. I think it's actually just so. I don't know if you want a Spider-Man flavor version of it. You can play one now. I think we could go 16. We could go 16 fetches now. I don't know what to do for against the odds from this set. What is the best against the odds card we've seen so far? So far, there's nothing that's real. I mean, like Web of Life and Destiny, I guess you put big things into play. With Great Power might actually be like that might be the funniest one so far. With like putting that on an indestructible creature is just so funny. It's so good. Like all the damage goes to the thing. The thing doesn't die because it's indestructible. I want to build with Great Power like Ketramos or something in standard. Is anyone here actually a big Spider-Man fan? Is Cosmic Spider-Man like the strongest of the Spider-Men in the multiverse of Spider-Man? Why? Because I would think that just like regular Spider-Man, Peter Luck is a sweet card. I like Peter Luck. Dogboy Mark for the 4th month. Welcome back to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super, thank you. Morning, Seth. Here's the Dawnslayer deck we spoke about last week. Ooh, let me see. Dawnslayer is such a fun card. Dawnslayer Wiata. Some Pariah action. That looks super fun. Okay, we got the Cleansing Wild. We'll keep this. We got a Bolt, we got a Cleansing Wild first, so we can do the thing. We can draw some cards. We don't have any Boom Bus, unfortunately. How do you deal with the inevitable march of time? Just realized OG Ravnica Block is 20 years old. Isn't that wild? It's so wild. That came up yesterday in the standard video. There was a quote from Aaron Forsyth about like why they banned Callblade. And it struck me that happened in 2011, which is very close to 15 years ago now. And it seems like it was just yesterday. Yeah, I guess I don't. I guess it's every once in a while I pause and I think, wow, that time went by fast, but that's just how life works. Johnny. Huh. Is it worth subtletying this to Johnny? It actually might be. We can also just bolt it. So if we subtlety a Johnny, untap, Cleansing Wildfire, ramp. You know what? We're gonna let it go. I think this is fine too, because we can just play another bridge and then bolt it. So play another bridge. Bolt the Johnny. Pass the turn. Arena's ready to play. Ooh, I don't know. We might have to. We'll see. We might do a little bit of arenaing. Well, that's gonna be a problem. That I think we actually do need to subtlety. The Force probably isn't going to do much this matchup anyway. Like, it's fine, but it's not great. So slow down the Voice of Victory. I know our opponent making sure we aren't too pretentious with their Voice of Victory. That was still one of the funniest, man. That Pauper match with a pretentious or not pretentious about it. Well, that's Darksteel Citadel. Cleansing Wildfire, draw a card. Get a land. I mean, this might actually be an Overload Rise and Shine game. We have three artifact lands right now. We're up to 4 mana. So next turn we play Chandra. The next turn we Overload Rise and Shine and get 3 indestructible 4/4s. It actually seems kind of good. Opponent hits us down to 16 passes. We draw Chandra. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4. Chandra. I don't know why they passed. They must have some flash thing or something. Let's just take up Chandra. Whoa. Boom Buster we can't cast. Play the fetch land past the turn. They gotta be doing something, right? We know they have the Voice of Victory. They went back on the top of their deck. Opponent going to Galvanic Discharge Chandra for 3. Okay. Wait, no. There's a Bagel card? Did they actually spoil a Bagel card? Oh my god. Bagel and Schmear? But there's not, well, there is kind of a person in it. At least there's not a person. Oh man. 1 mana food. Share. Pay a white mana, tap it, sack this artifact, put a +1/+1 counter up, 1 target creature, draw a card, activate only as a sorcery. Or Nosh. Pay 2, tap it, sack this artifact, you gain 3 life and draw a card. No fight in New York City was more vicious than the battle over who made the best bagels. Oh. Yeah. I don't know. What is, I was wondering that too. What is Nosh? I don't even know what Nosh is. Found it as another Ajani. I mean, cards with modern stuff on them is just weird to me, but I don't know. I guess I gotta just get over it because I think it just is what it is. It's gonna keep happening. Well, all right, it's time to rise and shine, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See if this is even enough. Boom. Overload it. Each non-creature artifact becomes a 4/4. So we're going to get 3 indestructible 4/4s, which are unfortunately tapped. But they're going to be good for next turn. Pass the turn. We are really outside the MTG space now. Yeah, a little. It's not the traditional MTG space, that's for sure. You gotta admit, the Spider-Man cards are as upsetting as any Magic card can ever be for me. You do realize that this is just the first year of Universes Beyond in Standard, right? Like, I imagine, I think that Spider-Man is actually pretty tame compared to where we could end up. I think there could be things that you dislike more than a bagel from Spider-Man in the future. That seems very possible to me. Found it. Flips their Ajani with the Guidasouls. Gains a bit of life. And passes. Well, let's go to combat. Everything at our opponent. Wow, they're going to take it. All right, hit you. Down to 4. Pass the turn. And we have the Stifle, so we can stifle something. Opponent going to bolt our face, trying to close out the game. Can you beat a Tidebinder, though? Can you beat a Tidebinder, opponent? What are we doing with our Ajani? We don't currently have a red permanent, which is kind of big because that means Ajani doesn't deal damage. The question is going to be, what do we Tidebind? Opponent's only got 2 cards in hand. Do we Tidebind? Put a +1/+1 counter on each cat. What do we Tidebind here? So they're also going to Guidasouls. I think this is fine. They might have another bolt in hand. Yeah, I think we let this go. Excalibur, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super chat for you. Thank you. All right, so opponent, Guidasouls. We will Tidebind it. Stifle the trigger. How many bolts? How many bolts does this deck play? How many bolts can Energy possibly play? Because if they don't have a bolt, it's obviously better to just block the Guidasouls. The problem is if we block the Guidasouls and they have a bolt, then we just kill ourselves. Because we take 6 and then die to the bolt. I feel like I thought they played 0. I thought the typical number was 0 lightning bolts. How greedy are we? If we block this way, we free the Guidasouls. They have 2 cards in hand. Yeah, we'll go this way. We're going to play it this way. We'll block one of the cats. Make sure we don't die to Bolt. The downside of this plan is it turns on the Guidasouls. Oh, Flage. Okay. Whew. Yeah, I mean, I guess Flage is technically another lightning bolt. Found it. Flages. Hits us to 2. And scoops it up. Oh, we got there. Oh, it worked. It worked. That was so close. Wow. Okay. It's kind of funny. Even the energy deck, like, I don't know. It feels like it's in not as brutal of a place as it used to be. I think I just like Modern again. Oh, we have a bunch of. We have a subway train. Didn't we have a Phantom train in Final Fantasy? We get a passenger ferry. We get a news helicopter. That is a news helicopter. And there's Spider-Man. Okay. Are any of these cards actually supportive parents? Wait, who is the child? Who is the child in this image? Is this part? Oh, it's the Morales. I see. I see. So that's Miles Morales and his parents. I got it. See, I don't know Spider-Man at all. Professional. So what is professional wrestler? What does this have to do with Spider-Man? Is this like part of Spider-Man lore? Are any of these cards good? 4 mana 3/3, return a creature card mana of your 4 or greater from your grave to your hand, exile an artifact or enchantment. 3 mana 3/3, tap 2 and tap creatures you control, add a mana of any color. That could maybe be like a combo piece or something. Terrific team up. 4 mana, instant. 2 less to cast if you control a permanent with mana value 4 or greater. 1 or 2 creatures you control each get +1/+0 until end of turn. They deal damage equal to their power to target creature an opponent controls. Subway Train. 2 mana 3/1 vehicle. When it enters, you can pay green. If you do search your library for a basic land, put it into play. Put it in your hand. Oh, that was almost. Wait. Oh, that was almost a good card. That was close. The train was close to being a good card. I feel like for 3 mana, my Spidey sense is tingling. My Spidey. Wait, why is he only got half the face? Oh, we need. Oh my god, we got a sideboard. We need the fire magics. We need the dead gaunts. We need to go down the force negations. We need to go down probably a Tail's End, maybe a Tidebinder, maybe a Lose Focus. Relic of Progenitus doesn't do anything. Ether Spellbound kind of does. And try it like that. All right, I always ask this. Let's say I want to know about Spider-Man. What would I watch? What would I watch? What would I read? I know there's a ton of Spider-Man, and I know there's like a bunch of famous movies, but is there any Spider-Man stuff that I would actually like, chat? You kind of know me. You kind of know the stuff I like. The answer to this question is not like whatever movie Tobey Maguire was in or whatever. Like one of the big Hollywood blockbusters. I don't know if those would be my jam. Was there like a really good Spider-Man animated show recently? I remember a couple years ago someone saying there's like I thought it was Spider-Man that has like amazing animation, just like some of the best animation of all time, and like won a bunch of awards or something. I think I could appreciate that. I think I could appreciate just like really awesome animation. Sam Raimi movies. Okay. How about a red source? Deck. Red source? No. Tidebinder. Well, let's just play the Slink tapped. Into the Spider-Verse. That's what I was thinking of. Or Enter the whatever that is. Enter the Spider-Verse. That was one someone was telling me about. Is it worth watching? A Johnny Nicano Priya. They're showing bonus sheet cards. Well, we'll look at them. We'll look at them all in just a minute. We'll let them wrap up, and we'll go through all the new spoilers before the stream ends. Don't worry about it. Gonna get in with the Guide to Souls. All right, we will take it. We really need a red source. Ooh, I feel like the mana base of this deck is a bit clunky. We've had a couple of games where all the colorless lands, like, I don't know if Urza Saga is worth it in this deck. I feel like Urza Saga might just be better as another fetch land. Season Pyro. Ew, it's gonna let that pop off. Yeah, we are pretty far behind. Very extremely far behind now. About it. Those are Miles stories, and yes, totally worth watching. Interesting. So, outside of Peter Parker Spider-Man, who is the next most, I don't know, iconic or like has the most movies publicized of the Spider-Man? Because I know you all told me there's a whole bunch of multiverses. Each multiverse has their own Spider-Man. I know what Peter Parker is because that's the one that I've heard of. It's Spider-Pig. Spider-Pig's number 2. Miles Morales is number 2. Oh, okay. Who's number 3 then? Who's not, or are those the two big ones really? 2099 after that? Where is Spider-Pig on the list? That's what I really care about. How high up is Spider-Pig? Peter Porker. Pretty low. Are there any Spider-Men that have gotten cards that you're like, I was not expecting that? That's like so obscure in Spider-Man lore that I was not expecting that would actually get a magic card. Aw. Spider-Pig Peter Porker is my favorite. Another, yeah. Well, it turns out not being able to cast cards makes playing Magic much more difficult. All right, so we need red mana. I think if I played this deck again, I think I would cut the sagas. I like the land destruction plan. I don't know if I like the sagas in the deck, though. Well, the bagel, yeah. The bagel, I expected that. It wouldn't be a Magic set without a random food item. Instant ramen, bagel and schmear. What do they eat in Avatar? What do they eat in Avatar? What do they eat in Lorwyn? Now I gotta know. I think this actually, maybe this is just all a long con. So wizards can eventually sell a cookbook. I bet that's it. We're gonna get the Magic the Gathering official multiverse cookbook a year or two from now as a secret lair drop. They'll give us recipes. They'll give us recipes. You know it's happening. You know it's happening. Now you can make instant ramen just like your favorite Magic the Gathering character. Food Network crossover. About it. Ocelot Pride. Well, I mean, we have to kill the Ocelot Pride. That card is kind of busted. About it. Ocelot Pride. We will lightning bolt it. Found it. Passes. Ooh, okay. Let's get our ramp on. That is actually a good draw here. Cleansing Wildfire to ramp is pretty big because that's gonna get us to subtlety next turn. So blow that up, but not really. Grab a island. Boom bust. That's a boom bust. Pass the turn. Things are looking up. Opponent. I actually went through a stage, and I hate to admit this in public, but I actually went through a stage where I watched a bunch of Gordon Ramsay shows, and I was actually kind of, man, it pains me to say this, but I was actually kind of entertained by them. I don't know why. I don't care about cooking. I don't know who Gordon Ramsay is. Somehow it popped up in my recommends, and I watched him, and we can't do anything about this, can we? We cannot. All right, sure. Well, opponent, if you're going to blow up our lands, it is only fair that we get our revenge. We're going to boom, blow up the indestructible land, blow up your Sacred Foundry, pass the turn. It's just like, reality shows make me, any reality show makes me feel like I should not be watching it. It just feels like, for some reason, I like to think that when I watch things, they're like somehow improving my brain, or like I'm learning something, or it's making me smarter. But in general, I feel like reality shows are just like the opposite of that. There's nothing wrong, and it's not even Gordon Ramsay, because honestly, out of reality shows, I kind of like Gordon Ramsay because I think he's actually entertaining. So it's not even that it's Gordon Ramsay. It's more just like I feel kind of like, I don't know, just weird about watching reality shows in general, because it feels like junk food entertainment, if that makes sense. Well, we're just gonna keep boom busting. Compared to, like, I could watch like a documentary and then I learn something, or I could listen to the podcast about the French Revolution and learn all kinds of things. You know what I learned on that podcast? You know what I didn't know this. You know how they always talk about politics being left and right? You have like the left is whatever, liberals, the right is conservatives. I didn't know until I started listening to this 66 episode French Revolution podcast that actually goes back to the French Revolution. During the French Revolution, when there was all this upheaval, they started their first, like, their equivalent of Congress or Senate after the revolution. They all go in this big building to sit down. People naturally tend to sit with the people who they like or they're friends with. And the people who were conservative all end up sitting in the right side of the building. The people who were more liberal all end up sitting on the left side of the building. And now 250 years later, because of where these random French people sat, we still use those terms today, which is, it's wild. It's stuff like that's just interesting to me. I'd always wondered where that came from, because the whole left-right thing doesn't actually really make sense. Like, there's no reason for it. But yeah, the National Convention. Did you listen to the podcast, Sea King? Also, boy, did they like their guillotine. My God. That probably is the most entertaining part of it, is the whole story is just like, oh, so we were doing this revolution, and it was going, this guy was a revolutionary and one of the most powerful people, and then they chopped his head off. So this guy, he took over, and he was running the whole thing. He ran the Committee on Safety. He was chopping off all these people's heads. But then eventually they decided that he was a traitor to the revolution, so they guillotined his head off. That's just like the whole story is just like, this guy, yeah, he's, I don't know, kind of sick of him this week. Guillotine him. Yeah, idioms are interesting. So opponent's gonna kill the Tidebinder. I guess that's acceptable. Unfortunately, we can't stop this Goblin Bombardment. That one land we got blown up was actually really impactful for how this game played out, because we have one land short of casting all these 4-drops for a lot of turns. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're gonna get down to Chandra. Get down the Chandra. Take up the Chandra. Start burning ya. Ritz, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super chat for you. Thank you. Land destruction, it's been going mid. We've gotten a couple wins. I feel like the build is good, but not all the way there. So we are going to, let's see. Subtlety. Pitch the tails end. Stop the flage. And then next turn, they're going to flage again. And we can hard cast the Subtlety. Opponent. Season Pyro. Getting in. Hitting us. Or hitting Chandra. Sure. Cleansing Wildfire. Well, let's take up Chandra for damage. hit another Chandra that we will not cast, hit you to 10 past the turn. This is going to be super close. So opponent's at 10. This hits for 6. We're like, oh, we're so close. Opponent combat, opponent getting in at the Chandra. Hits a yes. Down to 2. Flage. Well, I mean, we're not gonna let you play that Flage yet. Subtlety. Bounce the Flage. Back to the top. And opponent passes. Bolt. Bolt off the top. Ooh, Tidebinder. Oh, that's actually pretty good. That's actually really good. So let's take up Chandra. Hit ya. I think that might actually win us the game, because now we can just stifle the Flage trigger. Hit you with the Subtlety. Down to 5. I think we tempoed him out. Opponent. They're going to try to Flage again, I presume. Voice of Victory. Huh, they're not going to try to Flage. Okay, well, in that case, we will run out the Tidebinder. And we're not going to bolt, though. We can bolt during our turn. That's fine. Run out the Tidebinder. And I think that should do it. Because Chandra Bolt does it. Subtlety Bolt does it. So even if our opponent can, like, Galvanic Blast something, the other thing should still do it. Pretty confident they don't have a land. Yeah, okay, they're going to Bolt to kill the Tidebinder. Oh, I see. They're going to get in, hit the Chandra, kill the Chandra with a Bombardment. But then Subtlety Bolt still gets it done. Found it. Hits the Chandra. But we just took down the best deck in Modern with a bunch of Boom Buzz. Subtlety hits you, opponent. Down to 2. And one of the cards that have been at the top of Magic for 30 years. Bolt to the face, and that was a pretty good win. This deck's actually kind of fun. How many? Let's see. Let's look at the new spoilers. Oh, we actually saw most all of them already. There's not a lot. So we got a few new reprints. Thrill of Possibility on the special sheet. Oppo. I actually don't really like that Oppo agent. It's funny. I really like the art of the special sheet cards. Ooh, Jank Beats Ranked is actually a really good. That's a good video name. Are you a YouTuber, Alkazer? that would be a good video series name. I don't really. What do you think of the opposition agent art? It is probably true that Lightning. Oh, what do you think the card is that has literally killed the most people in Magic? Like the card that literally makes their life total go to 0. It might actually be Lightning Bolt. I think there is actually a chance that card is Lightning Bolt. I don't know why the Grayscale. Maybe it's just because the other cards are so colorful, like the Winds of Change and the Thrill of Possibility. The like Grayscale look I'm kind of on. Opposition Agent on Arena is going to be interesting, though. That's actually potentially a big deal for Timeless. Probably going to annoy people in Brawl, but what about, is Spider Sense any good? Spider Sense. 2 mana. Instant. Counter target instant spell, sorcery spell, or triggered ability. So it does not have fetch lands. And you can web sling it for 1 mana. I actually think web sling is going to be very powerful. I think web slinging is going to be very powerful. I think just having the ability to pick up your own tap creatures is probably going to be relevant. You can reuse their ETBs. You can potentially save them from a removal spell, get a 2-for-1 out of it. If your opponent goes to like kill something, you pick it back up and then counter something else. Gonna be hard to do with Spider Sense in specific, but I think web sling is a powerful ability. I don't care about opposition agent. The only tutor I cast in my deck is Mana Severance. Are you playing Thoracle? What do you win with Mana Severance? Thassa's Oracle? Spider Mobile. 3 mana, 3/3 trample. When the vehicle attacks or blocks, it gets +1/+1 until end of turn for each spider you control. Is there any chance, chat, that there is a spider deck in Standard? Could there actually... Ooh, Gallant Citizen. This card's good. This card, I mean, just 2 drops it, draw a card, enters. It's a helpful healer, but it's hybrid green-white. And it's apparently an astronaut. It's definitely an astronaut. Oh, the other thing... Oh, it was so funny when I was at the show this weekend. I was talking. It's kind of like this outdoor fest, kind of, you know, hippie-ish type of show. I was talking to this guy. Oh, it was so funny. It looks like Neil Armstrong. This card is what made me think of it. But I was talking to this guy. And he was like, yeah, like, I believe that you gotta consider everything. You gotta always be willing to think about anything, consider anything. And I was like, I don't know if I buy that. Like, what if someone comes up and says, you know, I think the earth is flat. I don't even need to like spend brain power in my time considering whether or not the earth is flat. And he was like, well, actually, I was like, oh no, I know where this is going. I picked the wrong example. And then I was like, actually, well, I believe we didn't actually ever land on the moon. And if we never landed on the moon, I'm just saying there's no real proof that the world... but this spaceship guy made me think of it. I thought I was picking like literally the safest example that no one would possibly agree with. Like, I was trying to be as safe as possible, and it backfired so hard. What is hot dog cart? I mean, does this make... Oh, it does. I think this might make the people eating food in everyday life deck. Hot dog cart. Those, I mean, I don't know if there's enough eating. You can kind of see the hot dog. This dude's selfieing himself. I think it might make the cut. What does it do? Oh, it's a mana rock. Oh, this will definitely make the cut. Because the deck needs some ramp. I am actually going to put that deck together. I don't know if it's got enough cards to complete it yet, but I will make the people eating in everyday places deck for Commander Clash. I think it's going in. I don't know. What do you think, Chad? Does it make the cut? Is it close enough? We have the bagel. The bagel makes it. The bagel's going to make it. We got instant ramen. We got the Doctor Who. What is the Doctor Who? Graham. Is it Graham? I don't remember the Doctor Who guy. Average Joe deck. Make sure you have 4 copies of Pay the Rent. The flavor on Pay the Rent is actually kind of dead on. Or Rent is due. I feel like the top-down design is actually pretty flavorful. You got to pay your rent. If you don't pay your rent by tapping the treasures or tapping some creatures, which I guess is like, you either pay with treasure or pay by doing work, I guess, would be tapping creatures. Or else you get evicted. Like, it is, like, kind of flavorful, I guess, in that way. Respect the schmear while playing Magic. Graham O'Brien. Maybe I just can't spell Graham. Maybe that's the... Graham is the godfather of the deck. Like, the deck... He's the first one, really. He started it all. Hey, there it is. Graham O'Brien. Just living life. Eating a sandwich. I wonder what he's doing today. That's a real person, right? That's a real person who exists somewhere. Could be walking his dog. Sleeping in. This we're going to keep. I wish we had an indestructible land, but this we will keep. We'll put Subtlety to the bottom. All right, I mean, if we can win this, we get a treasure chest. This is the last round of our Modern stream. Can we get one more win and go home with a treasure chest? I mean, if this is blue-white control, you'd think land destruction should be good against control. The problem is, what is the... Can I get 4 Cs using Graham? That's going to be the challenge is what is the commander of the deck? Because I really want it to be 5-color, but I don't have a great 5-color commander. Maybe I'll ask Wizards. Request a 5-color commander of someone eating random foods. Is a hot dog is a sandwich. I mean, I think a sandwich actually is. I don't know if hot dog. I don't know how I feel about hot dog being a sandwich. How do you define sandwich? We need to get in the nitty gritty here. How do you really define a sandwich? I feel like a sandwich. It's got meat in the middle or something in the middle, and it's got bread around it, so it would probably qualify, right? Unless you need 2 pieces of bread to have a sandwich. Oh, a taco is a sandwich. Or is a sandwich a taco? If you ever leverage your power as a major creator, that's yes. I'm gonna cash in all my chips for a 5-color commander that I don't actually really like, and I just want to meme on them eating food. Actually, that does sound like something I would do about it. Shardless agent. I think we're probably supposed to stifle. This has to be living end, right? So I think we're supposed to stifle the cascade trigger since we can't stop the living end. No one expects the tails end. That's for sure. All right, well, we're not dead. We're not facing out a bunch of street race. Opponent passes. Can we draw something? Oh, man, that's so many. Oh, my God. Okay. I mean, if we could just cast our hand, we win. Our opponent's at 12 life because of the street rates. If we could just resolve all the bolts in our hand, it actually wins us the game. We just only have 1 red source. Opponent gets and hits us. Down to 16. Oh. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's bad. Shardless agent. Gonna spin into a living death. Gonna get back to street race. Well, I mean, boom, Bolgia. We really could use a red source. Down to 9. Red mana. Red mana, please. Red mana, please. Oh, this deck. All right, pass the turn. So we're taking 8? That means we're dead in 2 turns. Man, what an annoying way to lose. Opponent gets it hits us for 8. Oh, that's so brutal. Lethal in hand, but just not the ability to cast it. Opponent cycles a generous end. Okay. Gets a forest. Plays the forest. How about another living end? No. Well, all right. Bolt your phase. Red source. Red source. We need a red source this turn. That is the game. That is the game. We need it's going to be, you know what it's going to be, chat? It's going to be the tapped artifact land. I know it. I just got a feeling. Untap red source? Oh! Okay. I mean, in theory, we can flash in the Tidebinder and block for a turn. So we might live 1 more turn and get 1 more shot at drawing a red source. That's the only thing we can realistically do. A Tidebinder. Man, we were so close. Tidebinder. And opponent has a subtlety. Yeah. Oh, I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming. Man. This deck's mana based. I like this deck. I like this deck a lot. It feels like it might have a bit of consistency issues, but I do like it. Well, Force Negation's great. That's probably our best card. Pithing Needle does nothing. Soul Guide Lantern's good. I don't even think Tail's End is especially good, but Boombust is fine. Subtlety actually doesn't seem that great. Maybe go something like that. Bring in all the forces, run it like that. Our deck is kind of like land destruction control, I guess. Well, okay, we got a relic, so we're keeping. Relic's any graveyard hate's gonna be good against Living End. I know, I think the mana base is the biggest issue with this deck. It has felt like the eternal struggle to hit our colors of mana. That does feel like the biggest issue with the deck. I think it's easily solvable, though. I think it's really... I've not been impressed with Urza's Saga in this deck, even though it's a really good card. I think just cut Urza's Saga, replace it with a dual land, a fetch land or something. Like maybe 3 fetch lands in one of the surveil lands, and I feel like that pretty much solves the issue. Now let's play the relic, pass the turn. But I think that would improve the deck a lot. Just a little more consistency. Yeah, we really want a Cleansing Wildfire, an indestructible land, so it's ramp. But yeah, I mean, I guess doing it to turn an island into a mountain does work. Bonet gets the Hedge Maze. Well, I mean, at least we get to eat away their graveyard. I mean, this hand's actually pretty good. We got a Force of Negation, too. So we have multiple layers of defense for Living End stuff. Yeah, we'll see what we draw. It is possible well, in this matchup, Urza's Saga is actually kind of good because it gets another piece of graveyard hate. That actually sounds kind of nice. Are we actually going to do it? Here we don't even need the red source. We could use another blue source. Yeah, I think we wait. I think we just wait for now. We did get one. Well, no land victory, Cat Cam fan. Also, how are you, Cat Cam fan? We got one. We got one. They did have a Trinisphere on the battlefield, but they didn't have any lands on the battlefield. So I think that counts. Yeah, we've got a couple good boom busts. The boom busts have been pretty good. Well, take up the Saga. Play a Sundering Eruption untapped. Well, just as I bashed the Saga and said I didn't really like it in this deck, we are going to start making constructs. How have you been, Cat Cam fan? Oh, Bonet. How much do y'all mind watching Moto? Is it a deal breaker? Like compared to watching arena streams, I feel like I know some of you have been around a long time, so for you it probably, I know some people, if you've been playing for a long time and watching for a long time, you might even prefer Moto. I actually in a lot of ways prefer Moto to arena when I'm just playing, which is kind of funny. But I do think that in general, I get why most people prefer arena, because it just looks way more video gamey. But I think if you're like a hardcore Magic player, I think that Moto is actually more understandable. As far as like playing well and like knowing what's going on the battlefield, I think it's actually kind of better than arena at that. I think we're just gonna keep going. Let's just keep constructing. Sack the Urza Saga. Get a Soul Guide Lantern. Exile our Urza Saga, apparently. Play another Urza Saga. And keep beating down. Hit an opponent. Scoops it up. And okay. We need to win this for the treasure chest. Binged the entirety of Severance last week, fittingly all while at work. Good show. I still need to... I watch Severance because it was recommended to me by a bunch of people, but I always watch shows, like, I don't really watch TV unless I'm, like, going to bed. I'll put out a show as I'm, like, falling asleep, basically, and Severance is not a good show for that. I realized pretty quickly, you actually have to pay attention because there's a lot going on. So I feel like I need to rewatch it when I'm actually really focused on it. Could through the Omen Pass that be a way for Wizards to get around the reserve list without the liability in court? Yes. So here's the thing about the reserve list. Wizards doesn't want to get rid of it. That's the heart of the issue. The heart of the issue is Wizards actually just does not want. I think this works, right? So they go land, we go land. They go land, we go land, blow up your land. Yeah, we're going to try this. I'd feel better if we had like an interactive spell, but opponent's going to 5, so hopefully the land destruction spell works. There are a lot of ways that Wizards could get around the reserve list. They could print legendary dual lands, which would be exactly the same in Commander. They could do a Omen Pass set. There's tons of tweaks that they could do. But Wizards have just said, and maybe this will change at some point, but they've always said that they believe in the spirit of the reserve list. So they're really not looking to find a pathway around the reserve list. Instead, they just like stay super far away from anything that might even kind of look like breaking the reserve list. So I actually don't think it's a legal issue. I think it's a we don't want to do it issue. I think they'd rather just have people play new formats and new cards than cash in on those old cards. It does. I think the dual lands are the biggest one. I wish those could be reprinted. I mean, I wish the reserve list didn't exist. That would be the best, but there are some of the cards that are still impactful. A lot of them, I guess, don't really matter that much, but Urza's Saga. Well, we're going to play the Saga. If our opponent has a force here, I guess it could be bad for us. And we will do a little booming. Blow up you, blow up you. And then next turn we can have Tail's End. Oh, jeez, okay. Oh, that is a way we could actually lose if they only have a Street Wraith in the graveyard. Hopefully we're okay. Opponent, Temple Garden, opponent. Just little mini Shardless Agent runs it out. Okay. Well, can we beat a Street Wraith and a Shardless Agent? Maybe. We draw another Saga. Well, let's play the Mountain. Pass the turn. We can start making constructs. I mean, opponent's got one card in hand. We're still at 20. We can make constructs. I think we might be okay still. Opponent gets in, hits us. We will take the 5. Down to 15. I mean, this is for feeding the children. This is for feeding the kids. Does Bear get to eat? It all comes down to this match. Construct token. Untap. Draw Darksteel Citadel. Construct token. Sack it. Get a Soul Guide Lantern. Eat the Force. Play a Urza's Saga. And wait, are we just racing? Are we actually attacking here? I think we're attacking here. Hit you. I think we're the aggro now. Hit you down to 12. Pass the turn. Opponent. I think we're going to get it. I think we're getting. Obviously, Bear eats like a king. He eats either way. I would never not feed Bear, but we don't get a treasure chest if we don't win. About it. Cycle Street Wraith down to 10. I guess they could Living End again, but that doesn't even really do much. I think we might have it. I think we might actually have a winning record. Oh, Cease rules the house. Cease gets whatever she wants. That is the beauty of being a cat, I guess. I found it. Foundation Breaker evokes it. Going after what? Going after a construct. Okay. Opponent. hits us for 5. Well, we untap. We draw a counter, take up the Saga, play the Darksteel Citadel, hit ya. I still think we win the race. We also have the Rise and Shine, which can make a surprise attacker next turn. Opponent down to 6. Opponent untaps. 3 cards in hand. Opponent cycles. Stripe River Rider. Sure. That's fine. Hallowed Fountain tapped. Opponent. Are we playing defense? All right. Urza Saga, make a construct. Untap. And opponent scoops it up, and we get a treasure chest. The kids get to eat. That went pretty well. That actually went pretty well. Where are you, Cease? Are you in here, Cease? I think she's sleeping on the couch at the moment. But we get a treasure chest open, and that deck was actually pretty fun. I like this deck a lot. The Chandras remind me a lot of like old school Land Destruction Ponza decks we used to play. It was kind of funny. We didn't play a lot of good Stifle matchups for having all these Tails Ends and Tidebinders, which are mostly for blowing up fetch lands, but we just didn't play against a lot of fetch land decks. But the boom busts were really good. The one thing I would say, even though that last game, the Urza Sagas were great, the biggest issue we had with the deck was just being color screwed, not having red mana when we needed it, not drawing blue mana when we needed it. So I think that's the easiest way to improve the deck, is somehow finding a way to get a few more colored sources into the deck, more fetch lands primarily, which might mean cutting Urza Saga. They felt good the last game, but overall I don't think the Urza Sagas actually felt that good. But apparently we have 2 treasure chests. Well, let's open them up. What do we get to feed the kids? Nebel Hemiflame. I actually like that art. That art is super cool. The card, I don't even play. Do any of you play that in Commander? I don't even play Nebel Hemiflame in Commander, actually. Well, all right. One more. And oh, that border. It looks so bad. It looks so bad on Moto. It is the piss border Lotus. I will say, I didn't even think they look that good in paper, but they look really bad digital, because there's no texture or foiling to them. So it's just like yellow. No, you can't sell stuff out of your Daybreak account. You can't sell, can't trade any of that. It's literally just for playing with. So you can't do any selling or trading or anything. So I guess even if we open a super expensive card, it's not like it really benefits us a ton, or actually at all. But anyway, the deck was sweet though. All right, let's check in on Spider-Man spoilers one more time. See what we missed. Is there anything else that's new? I don't think so. We can check Reddit. Maybe Niantic hasn't updated it yet. See if there's anything new on the Reddit spoiler wise. I guess there's a new food token. Oh, it's oh man. All right. Would you eat that, chat? Would you eat that? An authentic New York City delicacy. I will say that's not how you eat a hot dog. How you eat a hot dog, you don't put mustard on a hot dog. Oh, that's disgusting. You load it up with ketchup. Not mustard. Mustard on hot dog? I'm telling you, the hot dog looks good, and that bun, I bet it's delicious, but it's gotta have ketchup, not mustard. And wow, okay, that is a interesting treasure token. That's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. Really, you're not a ketchup fan? Ketchup is no serious. I'm not trolling about ketchup. I'm dead serious. I won't eat mustard. If I go to McDonald's, which I don't go to McDonald's very often, but if I go to like a fast food place and get a burger, you can't have mustard on there. Ketchup only. Ketchup and cheese. maybe a little bit of lettuce. That's it. Ketchup is like S tier. Mustard is like F tier. It really is. At least for me. Mayo on fries. Ugh. Gravy on fries. I can get behind gravy on fries. Mayo, I don't even put mayo on like a sub. Spicy mustard and sauerkraut. Okay, if it goes spicy, then I guess I can see the argument at least. Places in Chicago will not provide any ketchup. Really? People are that anti-ketchup on hot dogs? I think ketchup goes on kind of anything. You live in upstate, they have hot dogs that don't suck. That is actually true. We do have good hot dogs around here. Zweigels are really good. Hoffman's, Zweigels. We know our way around potatoes and hot dogs, apparently. What the heck do you put on a sandwich if not mayo? Nothing. No sauces. It's the same theory as cereal, chat. If you put the mayo on the sandwich, it gets soggy. You can't have your food getting soggy. I know you think I'm trolling about this, but this is actually how I live my life and firmly believe this. If you put the mayo on the sub, yeah, I mean, bread, ham, cheese. People always look at me funny when I order a sub, and I'm like, just put lots of ham on there, put lots of cheese on there, put a little bit of lettuce on there, and nothing else. You don't want any vegetables? No. You know, any sauces? No. What about honey mustard? No, nothing that makes it soggy, please. That's it. I'm making this easy on you, Subway employee. It's actually very easy. I'm making your job easier. You have to put less things on there. You have considered that unique food. Have you considered that you have unique food habits and the rest of us are normal? Oh, for sure. Oh, for sure. I know that I have very unique food habits. There's no doubt about it. And the rest of you are normal. But I'm just saying, try it sometime. Once you have that non-soggy sub because of the mayo, or that cereal that isn't all logy with milk, oh, you'll thank me. I'm just saying. How do you cook your hot dogs? Grilled, boiled, or steamed? The best is grilled. I like grilled the best. Boiled, I've had boiled hot dogs before. I don't think I've ever had steamed. How would you steam a hot dog? Like, would that be on top of the stove? I don't know if I've ever had a steamed hot dog. How is the ketchup-laden hot dog not soggy? Well, the ketchup doesn't, like, soak into the hot dog. The hot dog's it's ketchup proof. It just sits on top of it. Plus, there is a ketchup exception to all these rules. That's the one thing. When it comes to mixing foods together, the one thing that's acceptable is mixing ketchup with it. That's an Albany expression, Cat Cam fan. Oh, my hot take, no lettuce, no onion, or tomato on a burger. One time, the worst is, I ordered food in such weird way, and then we're going to wrap things up here in a minute. I ordered a burger one time, and I was like, I want a burger. I want a burger. All I want on it is the meat, cheese, and lettuce. And I thought that was a pretty easy way to order a burger, right? Burger, meat, cheese, and lettuce. When I went and picked up the burger, they thought that meant that I didn't want any bun with it. So it was actually just like a patty with cheese on it and lettuce in a box. I was like, all right, I guess that is what I said. So I can't actually get mad about this because I guess that is technically what I said. I just assume that the bun was implied, but apparently not. Have you ever tried getting every sauce on one sub at Subway? Surprisingly bomb. No, I don't think I would enjoy that personally. Did you see the fluid villain in Spider-Man? Wait, who's the fluid villain in Spider-Man? There's a fluid villain and I missed it? Where's the fluid villain? Lettuce. See, lettuce, it is a vegetable. I have mixed feelings about lettuce on a burger. So part of it is it adds a little bit of just extra crunch and texture, which is nice. Part of it is too, it makes me feel like I'm eating a vegetable, so then I can be proud of myself. See, it's for health purposes. Put a little lettuce on there, so it's a healthy burger. I love eating head of iceberg lettuce like an apple. Ooh, really? Huh. I actually don't mind lettuce. I actually think lettuce out of vegetables is actually not that bad. Anyway, everyone. Oh, you put it in the Discord. Let me see. See if we can find this card, and then why can I not find? Anyway, everyone. Yeah, I can't find the card, the Great Destroyer. I don't see it on the Discord either for some reason. I'm not I don't know exactly where it ended up. Do you know the name of it? If you know the name of it, I can just look it up. But anyway, everyone, I think that's going to bring us to the end of our stream for today. So, the deck was sweet. We didn't get to play Random Encounter because of Arena being down, but we'll play that more in the future. Modern, though, was pretty fun. So I'm glad we got to play some Modern because we don't get to play all that much Modern lately. But reminders on the way out the door. Replay YouTube for all the old streams. Normal YouTube. Spoilers. A fun Timeless Against the Odds tomorrow, which is a pretty sweet one. So check that out. And one more reminder that our sponsor today is Card Kingdom. If you need some magical cards, excuse me, you can get them over at cardkingdom.com/mtggoldfish. Most importantly, thank you to all of you. Y'all are amazing and awesome, and I love y'all. Thanks for hanging out, talking Spider-Man, talking food, playing some Magic. Have a great week, and I'll see you next week for another one. Until then, be good, everyone. I love you, and I will talk to you soon.